What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy, MM2K, and we're back again with another episode of SML Podcast, and I'm here with your other host, Project Storm. Storm, how you doing today, man?
Hey, man, let's hit that unmute. Make sure we good. Are we good?
Yeah, we good, brother.
All right, hold on one second. Hold on. I forgot to put my headset on, so let me handle that real quick. Hold on one second. I'm good, though, man. I'm ready to get this thing started. There's a whole lot to discuss. And it's Saturday, MM2K. There's a lot of games to be played, and we have a lot of announcements, a lot of topics to cover. So I'm ready to jump in. Absolutely.
Look, me and Storm, we be having some fire conversations before the show. I think we need to start recording them, Storm. You know what I mean? And people will understand why sometimes we might stumble on stage a little bit, but we got a fire show for you. First and foremost, let's get into what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Stadia platform. We're going to do a serious deep dive today because there's a lot of conversation going on in social media. There's a lot of new people, and I was inspired by a follower of the platform. I'm gonna get on the roses, in the show for inspiring me to do all this because there's going to be a follow-up video down the road. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about Stadia. It might surprise you. The performance that it's having right now opposed to the rhetoric out there in the ethos. Then we also want to talk about the fact that we want to give you all your flowers. And what do I mean by that? StadiaDosage has surpassed 2,000 viewers. What? And it's all thanks to you. Yes, Storm, I couldn't believe it. Like, what? But it's all thanks to you. So we want to give everybody their flowers that deserve them. And we're going to talk about the growth of this channel, how it started for those that may not be familiar, our experience trying to build this thing and what we got coming in the future. So definitely you want to be part of that conversation because there are some serious kickbacks coming back to the community because we're now at this new plateau. And we also want to talk about, because we do cover cloud gaming, Storm, and Stadia. There's a heavy focus there. But man, oh man, oh man, there was some serious talk, Storm, about Microsoft just trying to kill the game, like pop, 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 and just take everybody out.
Yeah,
like Nino on New Jack City. What are we talking about? There's rumors that Microsoft might be trying to buy Take-Two. We're going to go over this supposed rumor and the evidence for the supposed rumor and give our thoughts on the back end of that. But with no further ado, the heck with me. Now it's time to introduce to you and let you hear from the other host of the show, Project Storm. Storm, can you let everybody know what you've been playing since last episode, brother?
The KOP.
Woo!
It's that simple. The KOP, man, the King of Ports. That is Control Ultimate Edition on Stadia. Now, Storm, why do you got to be saying Ultimate Edition, man? What the hell are you doing? The show just started. Hey, because I realized that in the cloud, I think there's two ways you can play the Ultimate Edition. That's GeForce Now and Stadia.
Yep.
Now, see, for the people that's in the chat that stopped by the stream, I was going to wait for everybody that might pop up that was in there, man. But I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and play some Control on GeForce Now. I'm going to highlight GeForce Now today and get it popping, MM2K. And you know what happened?
Oh, what happened, bro? Was it fantastic? Did everything work out to your wildest dreams?
Absolutely negatory.
What?
It crashed, man. Wouldn't even open.
Jesus.
I tried it after the show, after the live stream, and it's right on stream. This is why I stream everything, man. It's right on stream, so it wasn't no shenanigans from on my end or anything like that. It just did not open. It did not work. It crashed, right? So that put a bad taste in my mouth. So you know what I said? I said, I'm going to go over to Amazon Luna, man. Mm-hmm. GeForce Now just lost some points. Let's go over to Luna real quick.
I know it was different for Luna. You tell me.
Yeah, it was different. It was different. Okay. I get over there. And then I say, let me go boot up Control. I know it's not the Ultimate Edition, but I know Luna runs games smoothly. And guess what happened, MM2K in chat?
What happened, brother?
It got to the beginning, like the opening title screen or whatever and all that stuff, and then it crashed, MM2K.
What?
Back-to-back crashes, 2 separate cloud services. Shout out to both of them, though, because I do intend to be playing them a little bit, or a lot in the upcoming days, right? But then I said, you know what, I'm going to go over to xCloud real quick.
Yep. I know xCloud.
What game I tried? Control. I tried it, MM2K, on xCloud. Guess what? xCloud booted up, no problem.
All right,
so it got more points than GeForce Now and Luna. But guess what happened, man?
Oh, come on now. Come on, Storm. Don't tell me now. Now, come on now. Now, you know you capping. You know you ain't got evidence of this.
Hey, man, who's in the house right now that can confirm? Let me see. I don't know if anybody in the chat right now, but we'll get some people in here later.
Storm, you know you be capping. You don't never have no photo evidence of this stuff, right?
No, the game booted up. The game booted up on xCloud. I gave xCloud, I gave Stadia a 10. xCloud got a 5. GeForce Now and Luna a 0. Because, see, here's the thing, man. xCloud I was able to play, but it ran at sub 30, around 25 frames per second. And this is not me just talking trash. This is like what really happened. It's live on stream. I don't have to make stuff up. So when we get out here, we talk about Stadia, best in the business, best in class, world class. These are just some examples of why. You know I had to talk about it for anybody that was in that stream. Y'all was there, man.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, man, I played some Deathloop on PC, and I'm disappointed because it's not the buttery, crispy experience that I thought it was going to be on PC. The game is amazing. Don't take anything away from the game, but there's something that they can patch up, man. It's like some kind of weird issues with VSync enabled and things like that. So it's a little bit there's some stutters, micro stutters, and a little bit of tearing and stuff going on that shouldn't be happening, and it's just needs to get polished up, man. But I hear that it's fire on PS5. Maybe we could talk about some of that later. Now, that's what my friends are saying. Hey, I'm glad I got it on PS5. Definitely was the truth. So I don't know. I don't have a PS5, man. So maybe you might be able to shed some light at some point.
Oh, you know what I might just do, Storm? I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on. Let me do it right now. Let me see. Do I have? You
gonna do it now? Early in the show, we still.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Oh,
yeah, we didn't even start yet.
I'm gonna wait because I was just gonna show it, but Whoa, my God, you ain't never lied, brother. But that's the thing, and we're gonna talk about that. The state when we get to the state of the consoles and things like that. But yeah, it is buttery smooth there. Yeah, brother, I've been playing. Well, you already know I've been playing Deathloop. I advertised that I think last night. The video was crispy, y'all, but it's too damn crispy. It just makes your mouth water too much. YouTube can't even handle it. So what I got to do is I got to let it render. It might not be ready fully until tomorrow. It's out there now, though. It's out there now. We're going to show you where it's at and all that other stuff, and you can see it in 1080p. But it in 1080p. It looks like some people's 4K. You know what I'm saying?
It really does.
Jesus.
It really does.
So, but it's a great looking game nonetheless. What else I've been playing? I played some more Division 2. You guys know that we got the old Dirty Blasters clan. And so we played some more Division 2. And then what else did I play? I think that was it this week. I really didn't get into a lot of gaming because we made some big progress on the website. The website is now officially ready to roll out, Storm, man. I tell you, brother, this was a pain and a half trying to get together, but we had to do it for the people. All I'm going to say is, if you're hosting a website, number one, don't go to Yola. I'm sorry, I got to call. I give flowers and turn on the showers when I need to. Don't go to Yola. And number two, if you go to GoDaddy, make sure you got your wallet open. You know what I'm saying? Because GoDaddy, man, it should be called Go Sugar Daddy. Golly. These mugs, they beat me in the head with a cash register and left my teeth down the road, man. It's crazy. So, crazy experience nonetheless. But we finally got everything together, so we're going to meet with our partners and everybody and the contributors and stuff like that so they can get their content kicked off, and then you'll be getting a date soon. Now, if you go to the site, we got a little cute little log but picture that I put up there. So it's under construction. But as soon as it's out and ready to be advertised again, we're going to let everybody know. So definitely check it out, or be ready to check it out. We're going to have giveaways, codes, stuff like that, along with our new incentive program. We talked about all that. But with that said, yeah, that's all I've been playing, man. Just those two games. Now, Storm, let me ask you a question, brother. We're going to talk about this later because it's part of the news segment. But I just want to get your thoughts on this right now because there was some articles that were really interested in the fact that Stadia might be getting into VR. I'm just interested. What are your thoughts on VR right now? Is it a big deal to you?
I think about PSVR and stuff like that. I've always wanted to get my hands on it. I missed my opportunity to try it for 2 weeks. I got an email from PlayStation saying, "Hey, we want you to try it." And I missed the damn email, so I was mad, man. All of the people that had VR headsets stopped playing VR shortly after they purchased the headset, so I was kind of concerned about that. But then Half-Life Alyx dropped, and I kept hearing great things about the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift and all this stuff, right? So MM2K. Then I started hearing Microsoft's augmented reality headsets or whatever that was supposed to be dropping. So there was so much VR talk, and I'm like, okay, this is finally it. VR has a place in gaming. It's being received, and I'm not saying it fell off. What I'm saying is I like to see it. And I think Stadia is a capable platform. I think that if you think about how Stadia is laid out, man, with the tech and the way it breaks down and all that stuff, man, wouldn't it be a perfect candidate for VR MM2K? Think about that. VR in the cloud.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Hey, bro.
I agree.
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, of course you take everything with a grain of salt that you hear until it releases, until it drops or whatever, till the move happens. That could be further down the road. I don't know, but I am intrigued by the discussion. I want to see VR. I think there's so many games on this platform already that can take advantage of a good VR experience, man. And that would just be a patch, I'm assuming. A patch or two maybe to get some of these games running with VR. Or some games that are built from the ground up for VR in the cloud and stuff, man. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't have to have exclusivity to do things like that, or first party studios to do things like that, MM2K. So I'm interested in it, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think oh, excuse me. I think the prospect of having Stadia do VR, anybody doing VR from the cloud to do it successfully, I think it's very promising and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about a little bit more. Well, no, we tapped into it now. Might as well,
Might as
talk
well.
about it. Yeah. And I didn't mean to go out of order like this, but I'm seeing a lot of chatter. I'm always gauging engagements and stuff like that. And I'm seeing a lot of chatter now. One particular article was like, hey, Stadia better get VR right or it won't survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to tag Stadia not doing something 1,000% correct as in their death. They just got to be right about that. And we're going to talk about that later big time too in our deep dive. But I'm like, VR? I mean, VR is still kind of niche. It'll be great to see, but anything to derive from this, because this is all early, like VR is still niche even from dedicated hardware. But the great thing to derive from this is, Storm, if Stadia does get into VR, that's proof that they are continuously making enhancements to the platform, because in order for VR to work, you gotta have 200 frames per second or something like that.
Well, one thing we know about Stadia, MM2K, to cut you off real quick. Now, this time I intentionally cut you off because we know that Stadia runs these games at much higher FPS than 60.
Exactly.
They've said this. I can find y'all the article and drop the link if I need to. It's out there, right? They run games much faster than 60 FPS, upwards of, I guess, around 120 or maybe even higher before it gets to us or whatever at 60. So I don't know, man. It might already be capable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that, hey, the platform is capable of doing some great stuff. It's just a matter of those levers being tweaked. We heard this from our good friends over at Mantis Games. They already said it. They've seen it, So
yeah,
what are they lying for? They're not lying. They've seen it. And to hear now VR in particular though, to hear somebody being able to pursue VR, them frames got to be higher, and it's not hard to imagine, Storm, because look, Stadia started off with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? I think that was, now in Project Stream, was that 1080p 60 or 1080p 30?
I can't remember, but I know it's 1080p.
Okay, so they went from being able to do 1080p 30, let's say, to offer 24,000 hours of gameplay from Project Stream to then be able to do 4K 60. That was just off of select people, not as wide as what, Stadia Access is now. So can you imagine with all the data that they have now, what they're going to be able to do beyond 4K? Like, we got to keep that stuff in perspective as Stadia staggers out these improvements and stuff like that. So great stuff. All right. With that said, we're going to get back on topic. We're gonna get back to back on script rather. The first thing we want to talk about, Storm, you know how well, you know what? Can you do me a favor, Storm, before we get into that? Let's shout out the chat, man. Let's shout out the chat.
All right.
Can you see them?
I will definitely be able to do that for you because I was gonna do it before we got too deep into the show anyway. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start from the top to the bottom. All right. The first in the building, Four Scars Gaming. I think we know this guy. Was he the first in the building, or do I have something in the way at the very top? Because I do have that.
That was Stadia. Them jerks at StadiaDosage News.
Oh yeah, nobody cares about them. Hey, so shout out to Four Scars Gaming, man. Then we had StadiaDosage News making its appearance or whatever. Then Stadia Revolution. See the Stadia theme right there. You see the Stadia theme right there, right?
Yes,
up in the house. That's the brother. We got Ace Cam popping up in here. Well, Project Storm first. He popped in here and said, "Here come the pain." Then Ace Cam came through. Raven Anime is up in here as well. He forgot to say Pika. So I worry about people when you don't come in here with your patented lines and stuff. I worry about y'all, man. I want to make sure everything's good.
Makes it scared.
Johnny Bionic. Been in the
Johnny.
building for a long time, man. Been seeing Johnny supporting the platform, doing his
Yes,
thing
Johnny.
for a long time, man. Then we got
Absolutely.
Victor Del
Victor
Mastro.
Del
We don't even have to say
Maestro.
he's an OG now. Vic's been around, man. So it is what it is. And Vic's out there playing them games, especially Destiny 2. Bulls Polite up in the
Bulls.
building, stopping by, showing support, man. We got Wrong Yeezy. He could be anywhere else in the
Oh,
world.
wrong
MM2K,
easy.
he could be anywhere else in the world, but he's here keeping an
He's
eye
here
on
with
Stadia.
us. Yes, sir.
Charles Aaron is in the building.
Yes.
The Nightbot.
Oh, the Nightbot. We got to shout out the Nightbot. You can
Got to
support
do
this
it.
channel and it won't cost you a dime. Leave a free message. Comment now.
That's right. Romello Thomas, GTA 5.
Romello,
He
what's
says,
up, Romello?
VR.
What's up,
That
brother?
would be lit. GTA 5 VR, he says, would be lit.
Yes.
Ron
Absolutely.
Slusher
Woo!
is still avoiding the white van.
He
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
He's sneaky, very, very sneaky.
Hey, we're going to have to get the rag top caddy for him.
Yeah,
you know
we
what
gotta
I'm
get
saying?
him. We gotta get him.
You got to switch it up a little bit. Next, we go hard. It's on
Mix.
number nine on that Madden leaderboard. I just checked it out yesterday as I was trying to find a match. I tried to find a match matched up with the Dallas Cowboys 3 times in a row, and then I said, you know what? I'll try it again today. So I don't know, but them boys over there putting in work, man. Him and Valley Chip, of course. It's artists in the house. What up, Stadia?
What's up, brother? What's going on, man? Peace.
Four Scars Gaming said, "Who that?"
Who that?
We know who it is. The person that gives away every damn thing. I don't even know if Four Scars Gaming has anything left in his crib, man.
I know.
We're gonna have to take a trip to Canada. We're gonna have to take a trip up there and hang out with the brother, visit the Paradigm Speaker Company and all that stuff. MM2 get some
Yes, sir.
get some nice drinks and all that stuff, man, and chill. But we got Bud in the building.
Bud, what's going on, brother?
Hey, listen, Simba is in the house. Man, I love that name. Simba. Just makes you want to say it with authority.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then we got Robert Gaddis in the house.
What's going on, man?
Hey, look, man, welcome to the show, man. This is what we do out here. MM2K and myself, we have a lot planned for y'all. So stick around, man. Get you a cup of coffee, get you some tea, get get whatever you need to succeed, and get glued to the screen because it's on.
All right. Thank you, Storm, for doing that. Shout out to everybody. We appreciate, love all of y'all. Now, with no further ado, let's get to our first topics. Let's talk about.
Before you do that,
how
can if they drop these comments in the chat, man, how can they get it read real quickly, MM2K, if you don't mind?
Oh, yes. If you drop it now, you dropping the funky fresh comments in the chat. All right. I'm bringing it 80s style. Funky fresh, dressed to impress, ready to party. If you dropping the funky fresh comments in the chat, and you know what I'm saying, and you want us to shout it out, you know what I'm saying, because y'all be dropping some fire stuff, but you got to understand there's so much stuff going on that we may miss some stuff. The for sure way is to hit that super chat button, y'all. Let us know and show some support. Oh, you know what, Storm? This is a great time to bring this up too. You're gonna want to do that, and I'm not saying this as a cash grab. Trust me. The reason why I'm saying that is we are restructuring our incentive program, and it's based upon everyone who subscribes. We want to give back to those that support us the most. So if you got to be subscribed, and then you got to be subscribed. Well, no, you don't have to be subscribed to the other channels, but you definitely got to be subscribed here. But being subscribed to the other channels gives you an opportunity to win some cool prizes. Also, your super chats will also help in that effort. So
now, what other channels are you referring to? Project Storm, Stadia Revolution, Snow Bunny, or?
Well, no. These are all the Stadia. These are all the SDO channels. We're gonna have additional giveaways as well for our satellite channels like the MM2K and the Project Storm channels. But we're talking about the StadiaDosage sponsored giveaways. For those that are members and subscribers here, what you're going to want to do is if you are subscribed to, well, first and foremost, get subscribed. Secondly, you know what I'm saying, make sure that you build up your ticket game. And you can build up your ticket game by also subscribing to StadiaDosage Streams, StadiaDosage Plus, and StadiaDosage Streams and StadiaDosage Plus, and by doing things like becoming a member. We'll get you a whole bunch of tickets. Doing super chats will get you a whole bunch of tickets. So we'll explain that in a little bit, but definitely I wanted to put that out there. Not only will your super chats help you get noticed on the show, but they go towards the tickets that you gather up, because every time that we do a channel sponsor giveaway, your tickets will be counted. And of course, those with the most tickets have the best chance of winning the giveaways. So we'll get more into that in a bit.
Have we done any are we new to the giveaway thing?
We ain't new, brother. You know how we do. We got the Old Dirty Blaster show, and I still got a card here that I got to give away. Matter of fact, how about we do this? We're gonna give away $25 gift card today. Old Dirty Blasters, I'll do 2 next week. All right.
Here you go. See, hold on, man. You didn't even run this by me, bro. See, here we go. He didn't run it by me, and he has a knack for doing this, y'all. So now's the time. We told y'all we took a break. We used to do giveaways. I mean, premiere editions and all that stuff. MM2K trying to ship them overseas and everything. Anywhere on the planet, man. You live under a rock, you can get your hands on the premiere edition. But now it seems like we're coming back. And when we come back stronger. You know, that's one thing I know. So
here's what we're going to do. You gotta be now. This is an SML giveaway. You gotta be subscribed to Project Storm's channel and this channel, and you gotta be watching this show. All right. What you're gonna want to do when we do the giveaways, you're gonna want to hit raffle. And then that should get you into to the raffle. We'll get into all that. G Million, hey look, bro, G Million, like I'm in this mug with his lewd comments. His lewd comments. I don't know if this counts. He says too sexy. this dude is
G
sick.
Million, man.
Too sexy in one stream. Shout out to G Million for his lewd, creepy comments. This is the card right here. This is it. I'm flapping it right now, y'all. We're going to give away $25 Google Play gift card to go towards you getting Young Souls or something, right? You have to be you have to be subscribed to Project Storm, Stadia Dosage. Storm, can you do us a favor and drop your link in the chat? Yeah, get your link, brother.
Link, man. Hold on.
He says, I don't, you know.
You still there?
Oh. Yeah, I'm still there. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, that. And let's do this too. I had to do something real quick in the chat.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say this real quick. We operate and we do things and we let people go wild in the chat. You know what I'm saying? In a fun way. But please, no comments towards sexual orientation, no racist stuff, no ragging on nobody's family. Please be cognizant of that. I just want to remind people, because sometimes people will see us acting wild and think all that stuff. It's no holds barred. No, we got some baselines and stuff that we ask. So please don't do that. Okay. All right. We appreciate that. All right. Now, with that being said, let's go on, man. Again, Storm is going to drop the link to his channel. Make sure that you have you're subscribed to him. You're subscribed here. And be here. You got to be here when we do the raffle. We don't know when we're going to do the raffle. We might do it at the end of the show. We might do it in 5 minutes. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So with no further ado, let's get on to today's topics. Okay, let me stop babbling. Let's get on to the damn show. Let me show you something. All right, there we go. Oh, no, shout out to before we get into the show, though. Golly. Muhammad Golly. We got our good brother Tommy Rocks in the house. When they showing Tommy's comment? Oh, Tommy's comment, I don't think it registered yet. Tommy, as soon as your comment registers, we're going to put it up on the screen. He got the 55 knock. He says, we need more active players in Division 2 clan to hit level 30. Try out the raids. Have some fun. Tommy, let me know, because right now I got 14 more people to go through. I'm sorry. The Old Dirty Blasters, my bad. This week, when I finally got set up on the website, that consumed my time because dealing with GoDaddy is like a 4-hour experience. So that's why I didn't do the second Old Dirty Blaster show. We're going to give away this card now, and we're going to just do 2 giveaways next week. But Tommy, if you're more familiar, how many people we need in the clan? Because I got 14 more applicants that I got to activate. So let me know how many more people we need in the clan, and we'll definitely get there. And shout out to Tommy for his his 55 knock. Appreciate it, brother. All right, Storm.
What up?
Do me a favor, brother, because everything is happening all at once. I got to run to the door real quick. But as you can see on this, can you see it on the screen this week on Stadia? Can you just run your thoughts about what you thought of this Tuesday's blog? I'll be right back in like 20 seconds.
Absolutely. Let's see what we have here. All right. I'm going to watch that. So right now, y'all, as you can see on the 14th of September, right, we had some good news right here. We had Merrick's Market that released. I saw a shout out to John Scar. He was on that one. So do check out John 4 Scars Gaming right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the brother while you're over there. I know he did a hell of a stream of Merrick's Market. He streams everything, you know what I mean? Especially when it's a new release, right? So we also have From Space. Now this one right here I can get into easily because it's a game that myself and Peter Cottontail got stuck on. Peter Cottontail, if you didn't know, was on last week's show, SSC Podcast. That happens every Wednesday between the hours of 3:30 and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Had a hell of a discussion, but man, it was funny because Peter Cottontail and I were just, you could just hear us with the thumbsticks as MM2K was trying to have a serious show. We got on it, couldn't stop playing. MM2K was the one that told us, like, look, Storm, once you get on this game, I'm telling you, you're going to be addicted. It's like, man, I played thousands of games. I don't want to hear that, man. Who are you to tell me what I'm going to like? Sure enough, y'all, I played the game for like 3-4 hours straight, I think. I know I put at least 2 hours in, nonstop. That's a hell of a game. Y'all need to try that out. Just a whole lot of fun. Darksiders 3. I'm hearing nothing but great things about that one. I had 60 FPS and everything. If you missed my thoughts on it, it was, that 30 FPS from Darksiders 2 has prevented me from buying the game right now. As of yet, I have not copped it, but I do plan to. Down the road. We'll see how long I can hold out because 60 FPS games call my name. All right. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now, a lot of people might look at this list, y'all, and say, yo, I've already played these games, Storm. This is what you guys do over there at Stadia? But see, they will sound like a damn fool, in my opinion, because some of these games are they have that classic status. You know what I mean? Like Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of the games people kept telling me to jump into. Storm, you have to play it, man. As you move up the ranks and get to Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla and all in the other ones that I missed, right? You need to play Black Flag because it's one of the best ones. And I'm like, yo, a pirate game? Come on, man. We're talking about pirates. Sure enough, the game starts out. The graphics are not cutting edge anymore because the game released in 2013. But what I did notice, I noticed that the game was running 4K 60 FPS on Stadia with 5.1 surround sound on the desktop. I think it might be among the first game that I've ever seen with the 5.1 enabled as soon as I booted up the game. I don't know, y'all. Like, I know 5.1 works on Stadia. I'm not saying it doesn't. But it was good to just see that green. I was like, whoa, did I do something wrong? Because it was lit up all beautiful in the gameplay. The performance of the game was just crazy. I did do a highlight video, not a comparison, with the PC version, Stadia and PC, playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And guess what? That video was supposed to have commentary, but my mic was muted the whole time. So if you go back and check that out, do understand that, my mic was muted the whole time. And I was like having a good time too. I'm like, let's check out the PC version. Let's go back over to Stadia. Let's go back to PC. Let's make sure to and none of that was recorded. None of that commentary was recorded, man. So I have to do much better. I've been making these mistakes like I don't know what the hell I'm doing these days, y'all, because I'm back to work. Yeah, I'm back to work. You know what I mean? Old Milwaukee kicks in and all that stuff, man. I'm tired. So I will do better, y'all, especially on the weekends, because I plan to go live today and tomorrow. But Dead by Daylight needs no explanation, y'all. No introduction. That game right there is ever evolving. They always adding fresh content to it, man. It's another one that I have not even put an hour of gameplay time in on Stadia. And I know I need to be slapped, taken out, and just like, beaten. But I will get into that game. You see, there's no time limit on good games. They don't expire, man.
Yep.
So I just want to throw that out there. But MM2K is back in the building.
So let me ask this, Storm. We had and sorry about that, y'all. My daughter. I'm gonna just run this real quick. I love my kids, but my kids got problems, and they cannot come in my house. You know what I'm saying? Unchaperoned. I love them. I heard something going on downstairs. I said, "Uh-oh, do I gotta get to Jammy?" And it was my daughter. I had to make sure she got what she needed and got the hell out. I love her, but anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Because I was wondering why you got so quiet. Hey, Spidey senses kicked in.
Hey, bro, you about to like, whoo! It's about, like, what's going on down here is my daughter. My wife knows better than that, because if they don't take my stuff, they know better, because they know I'll make a road trip. But they take her stuff, and then what happens is she starts fussing at me. Did you hear somebody down here? Stop playing with those grown adults on that podcast stuff. You know what I'm saying? I get reamed out. You know what I mean? So anyway. So Storm, we got Marik's Market, Darksider Street, which people can see on the screen right now. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, From Space multiplayer demo. I know you gave your overall thoughts, but did you give your grade? I missed that part. Did you give a grade? What was your grade?
I didn't score it.
Okay, what would you score it if you had to?
I think, you know what, man, because of it's about the experiences that I've had. So remember how I think I said like around the B range, man, I got to give it an A- because it comes down to the fun that you can have playing these games. It comes down to games that are so good. And I haven't even touched Darksiders 3, and I know you're going to get on me for that. But what I've tried in the sleeper multiplayer demo with From Space, right? What I've tried with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, a game from 2013, old ass game, OAG. Mm-hmm. Old ass game or old ass goat, because the game is so good. MM2K in chat, y'all. I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
What was that score again, Storm? I'm sorry.
A-, man.
A-? Okay, I just want to make sure I got the right.
I have to give it an A- because of what's going on. It's about that. If games compel you to play, that's the hallmark of a great game. If you ask me, you can have, like, Deathloop is out right now. You can have the most beautiful games in the world. But if it doesn't compel you to play it, if it doesn't call your name like Control does to me or whatever, I don't know, MM2K, what are we doing out here, man? I mean,
exactly.
So that's why I give this week's score. Dead by Daylight is in there, man, and all that stuff, man. A-.
A-? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Got it.
It's only because it didn't have that new Far Cry 6. Years. I gotta save room for that A+, man, or A++.
We kind of asked this question earlier in the week with the homie Peter Cottontail. But I had my old mobile. I'm still trying to get over what the hell my wife was thinking about giving my daughter this key. But anyway, But we asked this with Peter. We get that there may be some people that weren't there for that show that are here for this show. But I gave it a C, a B-. I gave it a B- because even though I don't play Assassin's Creed games all like that, except for the only one that's really interested me was Odyssey and Valhalla, I can appreciate the fact that we got a drippy wet 4K 60 Black Flag, man. That's dope. So I gave it a B-. You gotta have room for when they do come through and say, yo, Dying Light is here. You know what I'm saying? Or, Dying Light 2 and Battlefield. You know what I mean? Like, we can't give everything an A just because we're happy about it. You understand what I'm saying? So,
but what about if the game compels you to play, man? If it just calls you, like, you got to play me. I'm so good. Play me. Mm-hmm. What about that, MM2K? Isn't that what it's all about as gamers, though, bro?
That is true. If you're giving your own personal score, like if I give my own personal score would be like a C+ instead of a B-. Why? Because I don't care about it. I'm not going to play Black Flag. And people are going to hear that like, but MM2K, you were throwing fits over. No, because I care about my fellow gamers. You know what I'm saying? And we support Ubisoft Plus. And I'd be damned if I would have sat back and let Ubisoft Plus do that to my bros that are playing this game. My bros and my sisters that are playing this game. No way, no how. But personally, I don't really care about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I appreciate what they're doing for the platform. So that's some dope stuff. So it depends on how you rank it. If you're ranking it for the importance to the overall community, then you got to look at how the overall community might engage this. But if you're looking at it personally, I get where you're coming from, Storm. Definitely, I agree with it. That's what it's all about.
Just make sure you get that hashtag down bottom when it pops up. You know what I mean? I want you to read it out loud, bro. You know what I mean? Read that out loud.
Hey,
you can't come on here talking about a game that millions of people, franchise that millions of people have just love, man, just cherish. Can't wait for the next one, bro. Just spend hundreds of hours in each game, and you coming out here talking. Come on, man.
Hey, look, he said, hashtag get the jam before MM2K doesn't get. Hey, why Storm always try to get me? He always try to run me down over these games. First it was Control, and now it was Black Flag. But no, it's not that I don't. You know what it is, y'all? I'm not into stealth games all like that. I like games that
because you just like to shoot them up, man. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
You know? Shoot them up and just run through things. A straight path from A to Z, and that's it.
A straight path to destruction, brother. Yeah, that's what I'm into. So, no, he said, hashtag get the jammy.
Get the jammy.
I get it. But I can dig it, bro. But I had to fight that battle for my bros, man. My bros and my sisters that was like, no, man, we pay into this. I'm like, heck yeah, you right. All right, so those are our scores about this week on Stadia. Now, we also got the Falconer, Storm, or the Falconeer rather.
Falconeer, yeah.
Yeah, let me get it right. Let me do.
Because you're gonna have to give me 3 minutes with that one though.
No, you spread. Hey, look, spread your wings.
Oh, you know what I'm about to. Come on, man. You stole my. Hey, hold
Did
on,
I steal it? Oh, my bad, bro.
You stole it, man.
I stole it. I'm sorry, Storm.
Spread my wings.
You can do the
and
remix.
Fly away to a place that I long for, and my heart will be the pathway. I'm searching for a love that's evermore. There it is, right there.
Woo, they got the duo.
Boys. You know how we do this.
The doo-wop boys.
Let's go.
If y'all down with that song.
We with the Fair East Side. We got a special show lined up when we hit y'all with that.
Storm.
You know what I mean? Lean on me.
Hey, look, I'm changing the game.
We got to have Rev in here with that one, though.
I'm changing the game. Tell me what song that was and who sung it, and you're going to get a $25 gift card. The first person to do it. The first person that do it. You can tell me what that song was.
First person that says the song I was just singing, if you know the title.
If you know the title and the artist, you're going to get a special Doo-Wop Boys. I'm giving out 225. Give it to them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hey, yo.
Man.
Woo.
I like that because you never know what you're going to get. See, we hit you with a curveball every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
I love it, man. You got to be paying attention. You can't go to the bathroom, man. You got to wait till after the show.
Hey, look.
Oh, man.
So, do me a favor. Go ahead, do your thing, brother. And I'm gonna set this up too. I'm gonna set up the giveaway because we might do. I don't know. We're gonna set up the main giveaway, the other $25 gift card soon. But go ahead, brother. What are your thoughts on the Falconer coming October 5th?
So I tell you what, Falconeer, man, it's one of those games that I highlighted. It came to Xbox, and I remember people joking around like, "Yo, this is what y'all got, man. Where's your exclusives? Xbox?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember people saying that a whole lot, man. You got the Falconeer. Some Xbox gamers was like, the Falconeer, though, for real? Like, for real? But I'm telling y'all right now, I did something. I actually jumped on the game. First time really getting deep into it was on Series X. Well, no, it was xCloud. I got deeper into it on xCloud than I did on Series X. And I noticed that it had 120 FPS setting on xCloud or whatever, but I don't think that it was active. I think it was grayed out or something like that. I don't know I know you're not getting 120 because xCloud doesn't do that yet, you know? But it was one of the smoothest games that I played in the last 12 months, man. When it comes to performance, when it comes to what feels like 120, I was fooled, bro, because I thought I was playing at 120 frames per second or 120 hertz or whatever because it felt that damn smooth to play it, even on xCloud. Now, when we're talking about xCloud or whatever, or xCloud with Game Pass, whatever the hell they want to name it, I just hope they just keep it xCloud because that's cool, it's dope. It's 2 syllables, right?
Yep.
So, it was a hell of an experience, so much so that I said that it was the best performing game on xCloud to date.
Wow.
Like, so then I hear that it was built from the ground up for 60 FPS. And then I like the fact that they highlighted Stadia's technology. See, that right there is a match made in heaven, man. A game that's built from the ground up at 60 FPS, and then you got Stadia's technology. How the hell can you go wrong with that combination, y'all? Now think about all the games out there, MM2K, that's in chat that's 60 FPS, native, that has 120 hertz built into it. And then you couple that with Stadia's technology. See, we're going to be talking a lot about Stadia's technology. I know I am throughout the show. But MM, don't sleep on this game, man, to be able to jump on a warbird. And that's why we were singing what we sing. Because, you're going to be able to just jump on a warbird and upgrade this bird to do battle, man, World War One style or whatever the case is, man. The weapons feel great. The flying feels great. I know some people are like, yo, man, I got to invert my controls. I think they got that covered too. And here's the biggest part. Remember the Control Ultimate Edition that I was just talking about? The KOP?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Well, this game has the potential to be the KOP for October already because you know why?
Why is that?
It's coming MM2K with all the content that the Xbox version got. All the content all the DLC that's ever been released for the game is coming to with the Stadia release. Like that right there is what I love to see, man. So I know that if I do get hooked on the game, I have DLC for days that I could jump into. You can't go wrong with that, man. That's value. Now, when the price drops, we'll see. We'll see if it's worth it, man. But stay tuned for a first look of that one because I do anticipate it to be one of the smoothest games on the platform.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I think you're 1,000% right. And wow, like
I'm talking super smooth though, Moss. I'm not talking about like, yeah, man, it's 60, but sometimes when you turn the
sometimes
camera,
it drops down. Yeah, like
hey, look, man, that experience was smooth, and if it's that smooth on xCloud, shout out to xCloud. I just gave it credit and said that it runs that game very smooth, and others. There's about 40 games that I could play on xCloud, and I don't really have a major issue, right?
Yeah.
My only issue is when I try to stream into games like I do on Stadia at 4K or whatever. Even though xCloud is not hitting 4K, I understand that, but it does make text and everything more legible, and it makes the overall stream crispier. So why wouldn't I stream it at 4K if I can? So that's my only issues. But yo, it's impressive. So imagine it coming over to Stadia, bro. We'll see.
So Storm, let me ask you this question, then. The fact that now there's a part in here where they talk about it hitting 60 frames per second, as you refer to. Notice how do you think that's coincidental that was brought up, or do you think that this Stadia's listening and they're paying attention like we've always said? And it ain't just that we're drunk off the old Milwaukee and singing. And then congratulations to Stadia Rev. Now Rev, you PNTS, so let's let the next raffle, you gotta let the other people win. At least let them try it first. We're gonna give you the score, but you gotta let the other people win it. But yeah, congratulations to Stadia Rev.
I need that.
He said, I want that. He said, no, bucko. He said, no, I want that. Troop spread my wings.
He could pull an Eddie Player One now and relinquish his rights to it if he wanted.
He could do that. He could.
But then again, not because we already put the answer out there. Damn it.
We already put the answer out. Yeah, you're right. We can't do it. But yeah, congratulations to let me put that out there. Troop spread my wings from Stadia Revolution. He's the winner of our special bonus gift card. If I'm feeling a little frothy, I might throw another one out there. You know what I'm saying? However, Storm, do you think? Because I saw a tweet earlier this week that made me chuckle, right? And the tweet was because it was Luna's dropped the thing about their couch play, which shout out to Luna for that. dope stuff, definitely.
Right.
But somebody put out a tweet that said, yeah, it looks like at least Luna's listening. Google ain't listening. And you know what I'm saying? And I think, and it's like, Google ain't listening since launch. And I thought to myself, Storm, I said, damn, it must be nice that you just poke your head out of the shell every blood moon and get recognition like that. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like what is we doing here? But Storm, so the question I'm trying to ask you is this proof that we were on to something, that Stadia is definitely listening, you know, with them talking about this whole 60 frames per second thing?
I go back to it, man, and we're not them boys that say "I told you so." We'll tell you when we get ready to say "I told you so." We'll tell you, like I told you. You know, we'll say it with our chest, with authority. Exactly. But this is not one of those times when it's like "I told you so." But Stadia has been saying, shout out to Grace Yang, man, Shaka. You know, Grace seems like she can't do without Shaka. She appreciates Shaka, man. That's right there. That's chemistry right there. That right there is a beautiful thing. I don't know if y'all saw the tweet on Twitter, but I had to highlight that, right? So they're always, Grace has said numerous times, they listen, you know what I mean? They know the community or whatever. They pay attention. They are human beings. They're affected by things that are wrongful and hurtful and all that stuff, man. That I have to throw out because, see, that will let you know that Stadia has been listening since day one. Phil Harrison has told us. So Jack Buser, man. John Justice, before he left, they've told us that they listen. They might have said it in different ways, but they're always listening. They have these forums and everything set up, the blogs set up and all that stuff. They read the responses, I'm sure, because sometimes they answer them or they chime in and so you have to just say that Stadia is always listening, right? Yeah. It may not always feel that way. Mm-hmm. It may not, you may not always agree with that. But at the end of the day, I've seen too many circumstances where it's like out of nowhere, here comes Grace Yang in my chat when I'm streaming Rainbow Six Vegas. Yeah, I pop in her chat and she knows who I am. Project Storm, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Lee, if you want to ask anything, just ask it. You know what I mean? Hey, who, this person, that person, whatever. Like she knows people by name, by handles on Twitter, by whatever. So it's like, of course they're listening, man. The tech now, I do want to communicate directly with like Madge Bakar. I do want to talk to some of the engineers myself. I had one that followed me. I don't know if he's still following me right now with our shenanigans though, but I had an engineer that was following me on Twitter, man. So they're paying attention, they're listening. I do think that I got reached out to by Stadia with that Oris Must Die 3 code that I got in year one. I do think the primary reason that they reached out to me was because I was dropping this content, playing all these games in 4K and, things like that. So I do feel like they're paying attention. Why else would that even come to light? So this is why I know what I'm talking about is true, So yes, they're paying attention. And they know what we want, man. They know we want. And Grace and Shaka's like, hey, you might want to talk to the developers or whatever, things like that. So they're paying attention, bro.
Yep. So again, like Storm is 1,000% right in my opinion. They may not be out there like I heard you. Yeah, I heard you. Kind of reminds me of that guy that was on Dave Chappelle. They're like holla 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 holla. Everybody that walked by. That's not Stadia. That's not Google style right now, and especially not because things are early. But trust me. We had an opportunity, a lot of us, to sit down and chat with people there and get some front level concerns or questions answered like close to launch. You know what I mean? And trust me, they are listening and they are watching. I don't care if you're a YouTuber with, if you're Sunny Cloud Gaming, that's doing a hell of a job with 20,000. Brian Chappelle in the Nerf Report, you know what I'm saying, with his numbers, Nerd Nest, whatever, or if you're a smaller YouTuber, you know what I'm saying, or a new YouTuber. Shout out to my brother Christopher Torres. Hey Chris, if you're in the chat, or matter of fact, no, Chris gave me the name of his channel, and I'm gonna drop it, but it definitely check out the homie. No, it was Dominicano 791 rather. My bad.
Yeah,
And he has
okay.
a new channel. It's called DRS Stream X on YouTube. DRS Stream or DR Doctor Stream X rather. Doctor Stream X, all one word, on YouTube. Definitely check it out. Sub to my brother. It
Shout
doesn't
out.
matter if you're starting out like Dominicano or you're big like Sonny. If you talking about Stadia, they're watching. You know what I'm saying? And so they're paying close attention. All right. So don't believe the naysayers and all the other stuff. All right.
But you know what, though? I want to say this too, man.
Yeah,
They're
ahead,
not
brother.
the only ones
Definitely.
watching. It seems like everybody in the damn world is watching, really, wherever Stadia is available, and the places that it's not. Because if you look at the analytics, MM2K, we talk about it all the time, man. To know that somebody from, man, I can't even, countries that I didn't even know people even watch video gaming content, man, has been checking out some of my stuff, man. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So other people are watching the Stadia content because they want to know if Stadia fits their use case, if Stadia is for them. So keep that in mind if you're jumping out here, y'all. I always say that, man. If you're thinking about making Stadia content, but you're afraid that your friends might laugh or whatever the case, man, get over that hump, because this could be an opportunity for you to get more views than you. Look, I drop 8K videos is what I'm saying. I drop 8K. Some people might not want to see that. Like, Storm, I don't give a damn about no 8K, man. Series X, man, I got a PlayStation. I don't want to watch Series X videos, Storm. But you do know what I want to watch, though? Some of that Stadia. Because I keep hearing people talking about Stadia is this bad and that bad, right? So when I watch your video, Storm, and the people say these things, hey, Project Storm, that's crispy, bro. Damn, this is Stadia? Man, I might have to check this out, bro. Oh, I just signed up, by the way, but I need help with this right here. And that really happens, y'all. You know, it's a fact. So I just want to point it out there in case you're thinking about doing what Dominicano has recently done, which is starting your channel.
Absolutely. So with that said, we're going to continue on. There's more stuff happening as we're getting newly announced games as well. We got Super Animal Royale slated for Stadia on ESRB, released soon, per this Stadia Reddit. And, that's a game that's, creating a buzz. A little, AA game, but it looks not a little fun. It looks a lot of fun. And it's out on PC right now. Looks like it's going to be coming to Stadia. And we don't know how soon, though, but a lot of people are heavily anticipating that one. What else? We got 5 outright games that are coming. Shout out now. He's I don't want to make him blush, but we got our good brother John Scar in the house with his big. This was a huge article. Big 5 out the biggest kid video games coming this holiday season. And that's Fast and Furious Spy Racer, Rise of the Shifter. What else we got? We got Blaze and the Monster Machines. We got My Friend Peppa Pig. We got PJ Masks, Heroes of the Night. We got the Addams Family, Mansion Mayhem, and all of those games are slated for Stadia as well. Shout out to our good friend John Scar of Best Buy Blog.
Let me ask you something.
Brothers flowers, yes sir.
So most definitely deserves everyone he gets, all the pedals, all the stems, all that,
yes.
Right? So listen, but is the chat act working on the stream right now? Because when I look at the box, it's just blank, man. So I wanted to make sure, because when people go back and watch it on my screen, it was like
the Discord is blank.
No, on the stream itself, no, like the chat box that shows the chat.
Oh,
on the stream itself, you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean via YouTube or on the screen?
Like from the overlay.
Oh, from the overlay, yeah, because we don't have the chat box up right now. This is just the website.
Oh, got you. All right, I was about to say, okay.
Yep, this is just the website right now. No problem, brother. Hey, look, we always need an extra set of eyes, especially when I have my old Milwaukee in the morning. You know what I mean? we need that. My brother Storm, when he was trying to tell me when I was interviewing Topher, see, I didn't understand what you were saying. You was like, yo, Ma, something's going on with the chat. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. I'm like, Storm, the chat is okay. And so here he was talking about the chat in the overlay, and here he just kept repeating somebody's thing over and over again. It was crazy.
Yep.
Let me do this. Let me end this poll. It says, what do you rank this twos? Because we're beyond talking about the twos. 62%. It's very similar to the the poll that we had on Wednesday. 62% ranked it a B, 29% ranked it an A, and 4% ranked it C, and 4% ranked it D. So that's some interesting stuff. All right, but yeah, shout out to John Scar in the house for all that information and that blog. So we had that, and what else did we have? So that was it as far as the newly announced games. Storm, what are your thoughts on all of those? What would you grade Falconer, Super Animal Royale, and the 5 outright games coming to the platform being announced this week? What are your thoughts on that?
Starting from the outright games, we need them. We got to have them. People have kids. Kids want to get into Stadia. Now, at one point, y'all, I did not want the kids. I'm sorry. Tell the kids don't listen to this part. I did not want the kids over here talking about Fortnite. We just want to play Fortnite and jumping in my party chat when I'm on games and stuff, right? I didn't want to do it. My son, boy, we call them squeakers on Destiny 2. Boy, the squeakers, at some point, they would get on your last damn nerve, man. So I did not want my son coming over here like, Dad, let me play right now. It's my turn. Like, man, get your own Premier Edition. You got your own. I gave him one. He's like, man, I got a PS4. I don't want that. I don't want Stadia right now. It's cool, though. But I don't want to play Stadia right now because I want to play Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and all that stuff. So I didn't want that. But the kids need to have these games, too. We have families out here. These families spend time together. Some of these games are informative, educational, and they need it. They deserve a place on the platform, man, on every platform that they could be available. So shout out to Outright Games for bringing us all those games that they're bringing, man. Now, for Super Animal Royale MM2K, people are just hyped. Grown ass gamers, hype, man, hype for Super Animal Royale because for one, it's Battle Royale. Two. There's animals involved. Animals, Battle Royale. Now, that's how you come up with an original concept right there. That's how you do it. So Super Animal Royale is a game that's highly anticipated by a lot of people on all platforms as well. So the fact that it's coming to Stadia very soon. It hasn't launched yet, has it?
No, not yet.
I just want to make sure it didn't stealth on me or whatever, man.
Yeah,
exactly. It's coming very soon because I know I'll see people on Twitter like hype about that one.
Yeah,
but it's going to be I think it's going to be a game that the platform needs right now. You know, it's multiplayer, it's Battle Royale, man. It's just going to be a great time, just shooting each other up with these, man, it's just crazy, right? And then the last one, you're talking about which one again? What was the last one?
No, the last one was Falconer. We already talked about Falconer.
Oh, yeah, I already gave my thought on that. That definitely has a home.
So what's your vote? What's out of all of those games, what are you most interested in out of all the newcomers?
All of those, that's a good question, man.
Falconer, Super Animal Royale, or the outright games? What gets you most excited to come to the platform?
I want to say it's a tie, man, between Falconer and Super Animal Royale because I think there's a lot of laughter and a lot of fun to be had. That's one of those games you can jump in with the community or whatever, get out there and do your thing, and you're just going to get some laughs. So I think it's necessary. It's a game that Stadia could benefit from. So I think it's a toss-up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to pick Super Animal Royale. I mean, the Falconer being 60 frames per second and them referencing that really gets me excited. But, Super Animal Royale, I'm really interested in testing that out. But I think these are all great announcements, you know what I mean, nonetheless, because it's diversifying the catalog. We talked about this several weeks ago, Storm, where we asked, hey, do you guys know how many games were on Stadia, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 21 months out? And we said that, Stadia, even though Stadia walloped Xbox One, a console that sold 50 plus million units, think about that, with 200 games to Xbox's 144 games, 21 months out. PlayStation had 330 something. And the bulk of that 330 something games were games like this. Were games like Falcon or Super Animal Royale 5 and the outright games. They weren't, Last of Us 2B, 3.7C. They weren't a whole bunch of AAA because they weren't out yet. They stacked the deck with indie games and AA games, and that made the platform more alluring to PlayStation. So you look at what's going on with Stadia, and they're following winning strategies. So we definitely need games like this, and so I think it's a great week altogether. All right, we also had Storm. We had Farm Sim will be crossplay. Arc is getting private servers. And we talked about it earlier, the whole VR thing. So we had those enhancements as well. Any thoughts on those?
Crossplay coming to any game is a win, no matter how you look at it. I don't care what it is, man. Like if you get crossplay, my gosh, every multiplayer game should have crossplay. So man, I'm hype about that farming simulator. And don't think that I didn't put a few hours into that farming simulator. I think it was the 19 or whatever when it first hit the platform, man.
Okay.
I might have to go back out there and check out the new machinery, the visuals and all that stuff, see what the frame rate is like, because I think Farming Sim was one of those ones that hit native 4K or close to it or something like that. So it was a beautiful experience, man. But too many games, that's the curse right now. I can't even complete Red Dead 2, because there's too many damn games, man. And I promised the people I was going to go through the KOP, and I'm powering along, but that game never wants to end, and it keeps getting better and better. I don't know.
Absolutely. So, but with that said, we are going to move on. Great, but no. One more thing I do want to show. I definitely wanted to give a kudos, because we're giving out flowers today. That open up. Something. Okay, there we go. This is a tweet from our good friend Led. Led, I don't know if you're in the chat, but kudos, man, for you keeping track of all this stuff. And this is an update on the Stadia games on Metacritic. We have more than 5 user ratings, more than 1.5 user ratings, 190 out of 192 user scores, or 99% of them have been rated already. And we also, I think that these brothers, I think that Inled and whoever's assisting Inled in his efforts, or if he's doing it by himself, fantastic. I think that they've been able to influence a review. I don't have the tweet up, but we finally got a review up of Young Souls on Stadia. And it's up there, and it's an 83. Matter of fact, the hell with it. Let's see if I can find it right now. Young Souls Metacritic. So I'm going to give flowers. I'm not only going to give flowers to the community, and I'm not only going to give, there it goes right there. 83 Metacritic. Young Souls, and it's only available on Stadia. Look at that.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
I want to give flowers to Inled for really doing the groundwork to push this effort. I want to give the flowers to the Stadia community for following through and making sure that this happens. But I definitely want to give flowers to your co-host of this show, Project Storm. Project Storm was vigorous in bringing this up before this became a movement. So I know my brother's humble in what he does. He just does it for the love of gaming. But definitely be very cognizant. Project Storm was out here on the horns talking about what's going on with these Metacritic scores and all that other stuff. And it was good to see that there's follow-up and people doing the groundswell and all that stuff. So congratulations to you, brother, for bringing this out first and foremost, man. And look at where we're at now.
And for those that don't know, man, Rev and I, when we kicked off the Revolutionary Storm, we definitely brought attention to that, and IGN as well. We actually showed it on screen, man, because we didn't think it was fair. And then Inled, to see them take that torch, see, that's what it's about, man.
Absolutely.
They took the torch or whatever, knowingly or unknowingly, and ran with it. You know what I mean? And now look at what's going on, man. So, because we know the platform deserves more accolades, more praise, more acknowledgement, and more gaming time spent on it, right? So this is what it's all about, man. That's selflessness right there. You know, there's nothing selfish about this. Let's do it together as a community. And let me say something right now. I'm going to get in my bag for 8 seconds, man.
Yes.
I remember this dude here, MM2K, old Milwaukee or not. He's a great guy, man. The guy tried effortlessly to get people to get together. And that's how I ended up connecting with him. In the first damn play, Storm, man. Hey, bro, I like what you're doing, man. Hey, if you ever want to get on the podcast, let me know, blah, 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 blah. What I'm trying to do, what I really would like to see is the community come together. So, We're in here. Hey, imagine us being able to retweet each other's stuff, man. Imagine us being able to hype each other up, lift each other up when they're down. All that came from this dude right here. And, that's what we're going to continue to do, man. I mean, you're talking about me. I'm more selfish than you. If we have an ounce of selfishness in our bones, I have more than you. That's for sure, man. And opening up the platform, StadiaDosage News, man. What can I say? But let's go ahead and continue, bro.
I appreciate that, brother. But we do have some great stuff coming. So and don't forget, y'all, we got a raffle. All right, we got a big time raffle coming. Well, big time in the fact that I just pulled it out of nowhere. We're gonna give 25. We're gonna give another $25. We already gave one out earlier. We had a winner. We're gonna be giving that one out, and we're gonna also be giving out a $25 gift card. Another one for Google Play credit. For you to use for this great game, Young Souls, if you don't have it already, okay? But yeah, as a reminder, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells so people can know that we're live and we're doing great stuff like this out here. You know what I'm saying? And for thank you to those that have super chatted already. We got Tommy Rocks, we got G Million. Your super chats are going to go towards our monthly giveaway. We're going to have more information on that in a little bit. So don't forget about that. So if you want to, be braggadocious in the chat, or you simply want to be part of this raffle for some cool stuff, or you want to just help out the platform, feel free to hit that super chat button. All right. Now, let's get on to the next topic. Okay. The next topic is.
Okay, let me ask you something, man. Can we use that also, the super chat, as a way to ask us these questions, the burning questions that people have about Stadia and stuff, man? Because I think they're gonna be surprised by what we have coming up later on in the show, man.
Absolutely, yeah. You got any questions? Come through. When you have any questions, we stop what we're doing and we get right to giving you the answer the best way that we can. So definitely,
there it is.
Shout us out through the super chat, and we'll definitely answer your questions ASAP. All right, so our first or our next topic rather is our big Stadia review. Okay. So, Storm,
what's up?
We've been talking. I mean, granted, I don't want to say everybody's a Canoe person, because there are people that have legitimate concerns because
damn Canoe, man. I love the Canoe.
And for those that don't understand the concept of the Canoe people are the people that have so much chatter about Stadia, and they're speaking purely from emotion. But what they want you to do is they want you to take their emotion as gospel. It's one thing to where if we're having barbershop talk, Storm, you know what I'm saying? How we sit in a barbershop talk and all types of crazy stuff gets talked about, and it's comical, it gets your juices flowing, sometimes arguments will spew off, but it's all emotional. It's not to be taken seriously. Like once you leave the barber shop, then you go about your business, you don't, you know what I'm saying? But there's a difference between going into a barbershop, people talking about certain things, and you taking everything as gospel, right? This is just conjecture and all this other stuff. So there's nothing wrong with conjecture conversations happening on social media, YouTube, wherever. But when people want you to take this stuff as gospel and run away with it, take an experience that you're enjoying and say, oh my gosh, this person's concerned that has not been vetted. There's no evidence to support it. No precedent. I need to believe it. Oh no. When people want you to start doing that, sometimes it pays for you to caution yourself and kick the tires a little bit and try to research what's being said, right? So we want to do a Stadia review, Storm. We want to talk about the trajectory that the platform is going through, all the ups and downs and all the other stuff, get the pros and cons about different big time milestones, and bump it up against this rhetoric so people can understand that if they're looking for truthfulness or they're looking for plausible outcomes, which lane they need to get into in order to get that stuff. But I want it, like I said, I'm gonna give the flowers out while I can, and shout out to. Let me show you something. Let me do it a little bit better. Shout out to Coda Stadia. Hashtag media guy, hashtag MJ Parks, that's in the house right now.
Shout out.
Shout out. The homie said, I feel like this is an important YouTube creator's hashtag must watch. A personal story of coming to Google Stadia at MM2K finally answers why Stadia Volume 1. Right. So he went into the crates. They dug into the crates and pulled out an old goodie from StadiaDosage. And this is where I talk about why Stadia. Why am I selecting Stadia even though it's the redheaded stepchild, it's the ninth grader that all the seniors keep dumping in the trash receptacles and keep kicking down the lunchroom hallway, the cafeteria hallway, right? Why am I still with Stadia despite all that? And I break it down. And so when I thought about it, I said, you know what, it's time for a volume 2. So I'm working on a volume 2. But during this whole transition, I don't think we really broke into chunks the progression of Stadia and taking a look at where it's at now. So I definitely want to do that. And I want to shout out again, MJ Parks, also Colder Stadia on Twitter, for giving us that inspiration to do so. There's several key things that we want to look at. So first and foremost, Storm, let's talk about the launch of Stadia. Okay,
let's go.
What and you know, for those that aren't familiar with it, Stadia was announced. People originally thought it was going to be a Netflix type of gaming type of thing, and it wasn't. And there were some things that happened at launch, and then it started getting media ire. But let's talk about everything. As someone that actually had Stadia and was playing it at launch, Storm, what were the pros to you?
Well, the pros were that it had never been done before. It came at the right damn time because I was ready to take a pause on gaming. Gaming was getting stale. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna give up on it, but it was getting stale. It was getting repetitive. The cycles of the console launches were the same. It seemed like games were broken. They were being released broken. You still had to download these broken games, and you couldn't try the game until after the download was there, right? Until it was complete. So I was at a place, man. I'm telling you, it was a dark, gloomy place. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was talking to my friends about it, man. I'm like, yo, what is up with this, man? What the hell? And I couldn't even play games. I would boot them up or just cycle through all of the games I had for Xbox, all of the games I had available for PlayStation at the time, because I had the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, right? I also had a PC. Yep. But you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't there, man. My mind wasn't there. And then all of a sudden, here comes Stadia, man. So I hear 4K 60 or up to 4K 60. I didn't really care. I just wanted to see if it worked. The fact that it worked. So there's another plus, amendment, that it came out working, bro, from day one. When I got my hands on Destiny 2, the performance of this platform blew my damn mind. So I've seen about 300 people refer to Stadia as magical, sorcery, wizardry, stuff like that, man. It's so when you think about that, you're like, how does this even happen? So my mind was blown, man. So the tech was there, everything was there, right? The small library of games, some frowned upon, but I was so busy just hammering away at the performance of the platform that I didn't even care about what games was coming. I had the patience to wait because of what I was able to enjoy. No downloads, no updates, all those things that Stadia sells us, man. And they're not overhyping, by the way. Those were some of the initial thoughts right there, that just drew me. I just gravitated toward the platform.
Yep. The pros for me, Storm, were I originally didn't want to make Stadia a big piece of the pie. I've been trying out cloud gaming since 2018. I want to give some good brothers their flowers too. My brother, the real Maslin, other broadband bully. Shout out to my bro Maslin. And D-Batch of RDX. Shout out. We give D-Batch hell. Shout out to D-Batch because he's a tech junkie. And talking to those brothers in the DM, they were like, yo, MM2K, you need to try out this GeForce Now thing, because what I was doing was I was doing something experimental. I wanted to play Division 1 at work. So what I did, Storm, was something crazy. I took Division 1 and I would stream it from my Xbox One to my Windows laptop. And then I would use remote desktop from my Windows laptop on my phone. It's like, and that was a very dangerous thing. And then of course you can imagine the latency and it was, but I was able to show people work. Look, I got Division 1 up, and they're like, okay, nerd. You know what I'm saying? So I had explained to D-Batch and Maslin in the conversation that's what I was doing. It was like, well, no, look, brother, you got to do, for Xbox, you got to do that. But sooner or later, this whole cloud gaming thing is going to progress. Here, check out this GeForce Now. And I remember trying it, and that's when GeForce Now only had 40 games. They only had 40 games when they first started this, right? So we talk about, right. GeForce Now got 1,000. It took them like 5 years to build up to that point. You know what I mean? So, and I was looking at cloud gaming as something that eventually I can indulge in away from my dedicated device gaming the way a lot of people thought. And I only wanted Stadia, A, to test it for the community, but B, to play Cyberpunk on the go and Division 2 on the go, because I heard Ubisoft Plus was coming. I had no intentions of making this my main way to game. And when I got it, I had heard all the bad news, and before I even hooked it up, weeks before I even got it, I had thought about canceling my order, Storm. And that would have been crazy. Imagine no MM2K and possibly no StadiaDosage. I wasn't going to, I was going to cancel it because I figured, I was like, if there's all this bad news about it, like, dang, man, this thing must be worse off than what I imagined. But it was too late for me to cancel my order. It was destiny. It was destiny for me to get this thing. So I hook it up and I play it, and I'm saying to myself, Storm, what the hell was all the hoopla about? This thing is fantastic. I was playing Destiny 2, 1080p 60. It was great. I have the stream up. It's still on this channel. I had carried over from Twitch. And then when Borderlands 3 came, the rest is history, man. So those are the pros. Like, it acts, like you said, Storm, it actually worked. And it was a way for me to do streams without having to worry about all the bog down with trying to stream 60 frames per second natively, and to see this technology work in a way that years prior, since 2018, I have never seen it operate that smooth, was very promising for me. So that was the pros. All right. So now that we talk about the pros of Stadia at launch, let's talk about the cons of Stadia at launch. What were some of the bad things? Because we can keep it real here. What were some of the things at launch, Storm, that you think were not good for the platform or could have been done?
There were a lot of questions that it seems that Stadia wasn't ready to answer. A lot of questions people have that they could have capitalized on if they had been able to give clear cut answers and stuff, right? Yeah. And the whole delayed launch. The delayed launch was kind of like a hiccup. I'm not going to say it like it was any kind of nail or dagger to the platform or whatever, but people were fuming that they couldn't get in on the 19th or whatever. You know, some codes went out of order and things like that. So those are two of the ones that I could think about: the communication piece and that code debacle.
Yep. For me, it was the AMA. I think the AMA that they had really was bad, and what it showed was a naivete to a certain degree, and I mean that, and it was very inadvertent, but a naivete to the rabid animal mentality of the gaming community. Like, when it rains, it pours, and when they're trying to hit you with the hatchet in the gaming community, your messaging has to be very strong, very direct, and at least in appearance be very transparent, confidence-wise. And in that AMA where they talked about, well, we're trying our best to give people bundles at launch, we'll even hand deliver them. Like, yeah, that's a very noble effort, but you don't say that in the AMA. You know what I'm saying? So I think the PR just was off, in regards to Stadia. Also at launch, the only other problem that I had at launch was the fact that, codes didn't come through right, or didn't come through on time. Like, I got my unit like 3 days after launch, even though I was a founder, and I was there at the event. Like, me and my homie J Dubs, We were covering it for Broadband Bullies with the crew. And once the pre-orders hit, me and him were like the first, me, him, and Neethles were the first people to order. Now, Neethles canceled his later. But we were like one of the first people there. And I didn't get mine until like 4 days later. And then 3 days after that, I couldn't play it because I didn't get my code. You know what I'm saying? So it took me 7 days.
And I got mine 3 days earlier or so than I thought than I was supposed to be getting. Crazy, I got mine on the 19th, you know?
Yeah. So the logistics of the rollout to me were the big issue. But at launch, and then when I want to say around launch time, where remember originally they were only going to release 12 games.
Yeah.
And people got upset, and then out of nowhere they came out with another 15 or something like that. I was wondering what that was about. You know what I mean? Like I think what they were trying. It caused a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It caused a lot of questions at the rollout. Like, what were they thinking? Like, you hear Jason Schreier say that they wanted to compete with PlayStation, Xbox at the onset, and I don't believe that, because Jack Buser and Phil Harrison earlier on, well before launch, explained that they knew that was not they weren't capable of that. But I'm thinking in some ways they undersold what the expectations were at launch as far as volume. You know what I mean? So they were only going to release for 12 games. But besides that, those were the only things at launch that I had an issue with. I know other things you could attribute to delays. You know, like we were supposed to get Doom in December and I got pushed back to like March, you know. The whole Ubisoft thing, I remember Phil Harrison somewhere, and I still can't find it, but him saying that Ubisoft Plus was coming early 2020 and it got pushed back to December 2020. You know what I mean? So there were a lot of things out of Stadia's control that happened, and then COVID, Jesus Christ. You know, but the things that I think were in their control were definitely the rollout of the codes and the skim down nature of the volume. So with that said, the rhetoric. Let's talk about the rhetoric, Storm. So we had a lot of rhetoric about Stadia at launch, and the biggest lines of rhetoric were Stadia lied about 4K, and it doesn't work. What are your thoughts on that?
That was a flat out lie. Yeah. It's something that shouldn't have even been put out there as boldly as it was. Now we understand, because I had issues. I've had issues with Stadia. I only give it a 97 or so percentile when it comes to the performance or whatever, just the consistency of all of it. But man, look, I tell you one thing though. Again, I was on Destiny 2 reading these articles. I was on other games at launch just testing games out, and Stadia was working very well. So I didn't understand it. Again, but I do have to say that some people I know for a fact they definitely had issues, because I personally know real people in real life that had issues with Stadia, and I'm one of them, right? Yeah. So, but some of that stuff was blown out of proportion because they never wanted to see Stadia succeed. So they put that stuff out there. Like, you know, I tried it on my Wi-Fi with a VPN active and all kind of crazy stuff. And I was just seeing so much stuff that wasn't adding up to my experience. Then I was looking around, looking over my shoulders like, hey, anybody in the community, what do y'all think? And I'm seeing people like, oh, my experience has been great. Some people were having issues too in the community, but overall, it was more positive, way more positive than negative. So I didn't understand that, you know, where they were coming from.
Yeah, it was a bunch of malarkey. And you were starting to see the sign. Like, I was like, all the rhetoric that the community was bringing up prior to launch, I was like, wow, this is kind of bad. You know what I mean? Like, I just made the assumption. I gave the media the benefit of the doubt because I was covering them for a while. You know what I'm saying? I gave the media. Now I know some media just, you know, do stuff for whatever. I know they're not always honest, but I never knew it was at the level that it actually was up until I got Stadia. So prior to the launch, I'm believing a lot of this rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? And then there was the guy, it was a Dean Takahashi, I think it was, who was playing Destiny 2 and was hitting the space bar, and it looked like there was a whole bunch of latency. But what it was is that the rocket scientist had a workplace VPN active, You know what I'm saying? And that became the laughter of the community. But I believed it because at the time, y'all, remember, I have Stadia in my hands, but I can't activate it because I don't have my codes. So I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, dang, I got beaten in the head with a cash register. I'm saying all this stuff to myself until I actually played it. And Storm is right, that was a lie. And it wasn't until then that I started to really see that when the media has an agenda, how flippant they become to facts and telling the truth and being unbiased in their reporting, how all that can go out the window, especially with this current breed of journalism. I didn't understand how bad it was until Stadia, unfortunately. So interesting stuff, definitely. So let's talk fourth quarter. Let's move on. Because, Stadia went through a whole bunch of stuff. There was a free tier and all of this stuff. But let's jump to the biggest milestone of 2020, which was the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, we saw stuff like the Ubisoft Plus finally launched. We saw Baldur's Gate was the effect of Baldur's Gate being on the platform and helping the platform get more recognized just a month prior to the fourth quarter. And we saw some other things as well, particularly Cyberpunk 2077 releasing. So, Storm, if you could, what do you think were the pros and cons of fourth quarter?
I tell you what, was the Good Stuff campaign in fourth quarter? Or was that third?
I believe, yes. Yep, I think that was October.
Yeah, I want to say fourth too, right? So Cyberpunk, that's fourth. All that. So a lot of major things happened, and that turned the perception of Stadia at that point. That's when we first started seeing publications journalists or whatever backpedal a little bit. Yeah. And for like a few months after that fourth quarter, you didn't hear a negative article, and if it came from any individual, it was somebody that you just didn't know, like you had never heard of. Everybody else shut the hell up, and they started paying attention to Stadia. And then and this was something that we predicted. MM2K, we predicted it. Like, when these big games like Cyberpunk and not Resident Evil at the time, but when these games start hitting the platform, the perception is going to change. We saw a lot of things happening. Immortals Phoenix Rising and stuff like that, that had already launched on the platform. So that's what the fourth quarter meant to me. It was like a time where people really took notice that, damn, this Stadia thing is not what people were laughing at. You know what I'm saying? It's more than that. Because I just tried it myself, and boy, am I impressed. Like that, we started seeing a whole lot of that stuff. We also started seeing a lot more likes on the Stadia Twitter, the tweets or whatever that came from Google Stadia. I mean, likes and comments sometimes over 1,000, like easily that level of participation coming from. It seemed like it just quadrupled around that fourth quarter, where we in our portion of the community, because I always say, we're a portion of the overall community. There's people out there that we still have yet to know about or have yet to meet or whatever, man, that's enjoying this platform as well. But that's what I think. Like, it was just a time. It was like a stamp. They just put a stamp down like, look, man, we're here for real. These are the type of games. It's the level of gaming you can have on this platform. We're here to support the platform. We're going to back it. And that was that, fourth quarter.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, as far as pros and cons of Stadia, like, I don't think that, as far as the pros were concerned, like, you started seeing Stadia be more aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, you start seeing them be more aggressive as far as the communication and the marketing. You got to remember they had that hell of a video that's still my favorite Stadia video of all time. But they said, what is Stadia? And they broke it down and all other stuff. Then you had the Good Stuff campaign, and then you had the play event on Dead by Daylight with Austin Creed and I forgot her name, the co-host that was part of Sci-Fi. And then they
also real quick had one that went over 10 million views, and it's one that was not on our radar, and it's one that we haven't talked about. I'm gonna find it, but not today.
Yeah, if you can find that one. That would be dope.
All right, so I'm definitely gonna have to find it now then. But go ahead.
Yeah, look for that, bro.
All right, it definitely went over 10 million. So that type of eyeballs on Stadia, no matter whether it's good or bad, there's some interest there. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, and then you had Ubisoft Plus that finally became available in beta format, and then you had Cyberpunk. You know what I'm saying? Like Cyberpunk changed the whole game for Stadia in a lot of ways, and really like put it out there in the forefront where in the only brick and mortar where it was being offered, it sold out. It put it on the map. Wario64, shout out to Wario on Twitter. They started advertising it and started giving people notices. Hey, because the people want to play Cyberpunk and they want to play it in a decent way, but they didn't have money to get a $55,000 rig, right? So they was like, yo, here, the Stadia Premier bundles now in stock, this, that, and the other, right? So, and then you started seeing people in the threads for Wario when people say, oh, the 5 people really care about that. People are like, no, you jackass. This is the best way to play Cyberpunk 2077. Like, cool it. You really started seeing the pushback. You really started seeing the positive stuff about Stadia, really come out and be more aggressive. If I had to say there was any cons fourth quarter, oh man, I can't think of any. The only thing that I could think of, Storm, was that, Stadia is still like a wait and see, you know what I mean, with a lot of stuff. We didn't know what to expect except for Ubisoft, but we didn't know what to expect. Everything that was when they really started to do their stealth drop things, and we really didn't get an answer that I think a lot. I'll put it like this. Here goes my con, because it's hard to pull one out at this period of time because Stadia was hot. It was its hottest. I'm gonna say that the back away from Gen 2.0. Like they were like, well, we're not going to, there was a lot of talk around Gen 2.0, and we're here to tell you that when you see these enhancements, they're just going to come out in pieces and bunches when they come out. Like the back away from that, makes people like you and I kind of like, but still, it was still a hot period for the platform. So with that said, I want to get to this now. This part is going to be super juicy. I love this because it again crystallizes for you, someone that has been part of the platform since launch, or if you're new, a lot of the rhetoric that you see on YouTube or you see on social media, or whatever. Why you should think twice before you indulge into it too much. Like if you just want to be entertained, that's fine. Like I said, barbershop talk is entertaining. But before you take it as gospel, you need to think twice. So let's talk about the rhetoric of Stadia. So here goes some big things that were said, Storm, and I got to get your take on this, brother. Who cares if it got popular? It hasn't reached 1 million people yet. Secondly, Cyberpunk wasn't coming day and date. And lastly, which I had personal pleasure to get exposed to me, which still boggles me to today, Cyberpunk 2077 was a failure for Stadia. Because it was a failure, they wanted to close Stadia down because of it. What are your thoughts about that rhetoric? Again, Stadia hadn't come across 1 million hands yet. Cyberpunk wasn't coming day and date. And Cyberpunk 2077 was a failure for Stadia. They want to close it down because it didn't do what the platform needed it to do.
I think that was another stretch, man. Like people just grasping for whatever they could to finally kill it. Like they just remember they didn't want it to last a year. You got to understand. That's why people came out so like rampantly and feverishly. They wanted it dead. They knew that if you gave Stadia any kind of legs, any kind of wiggle room, that is backed by Google, so it's probably going to be a success down the road, especially in an industry like gaming, y'all. Now, we've seen what Microsoft's capable of when it comes to just flexing muscles with those pockets, those deep pockets, man. I've always said that about Microsoft. I've always said it about Google. I'm saying it about Amazon. It's hard to kill off these giants, man, that can overnight find extra resources and stuff like that to allocate towards Stadia or Luna or xCloud or whatever the case is, man. So you really can't count them out. And that's what the whole race to kill it off was about, in my opinion, man. If you think about it, it makes sense. I can't find any rationale behind it otherwise, man, because I mean, we have never seen this in gaming before where people wanted something to die so bad. Now, people might have said, hell with the Wii or the Wii U or whatever. Whatever. Nintendo has faced this. PlayStation has faced this with the PS3. It's too expensive for developers to develop games, and the cell processor is too advanced to learn it in a timely fashion. We've seen a whole lot of stuff. 360 with the red ring of death. Some big things have hit companies before, right?
Exactly.
But man, now let me tell you this. I remember a time for PlayStation gamers, we couldn't even play for days, or it felt like weeks when the whole outage happened. Remember that the longest outage ever. Yep. Is what I'm going to call it, man. We couldn't even play our games, man. It was so bad they had to give us free games on the back end of the whole thing. But they didn't take a fraction of the heat that Stadia took for just putting out a cloud gaming platform. That's what they did. They didn't come out here and say, we're going to smack your mom. You know what I mean? We're not trying to, they came out here like, hey, we're trying to help the industry grow. And they took that level of heat. Now, you all tell me what you think, as my brother Chariot Man Gaming would say. Yo, first of all, Chariot got that, man, bro. Yeah. If you all don't go out there and check out Chariot Man Gaming, man, and I'm telling you, we hype these individuals up because when we're live, it just smacks you in the face. Something that Chariot Man just said, it just fits right in line. So tell me what you think. You know what I mean? Yo, it just does not make, and it made us even happier because we were behind the scenes like, yo, these mugs right here about to be mad when they find out this one, boy. You know what I mean? Like we were happy to combat the BS. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, it was like something that we woke up for, because we knew how great this platform was and the potential of it. That's why we signed up in the first place, y'all. That's why we're still here rocking out on the platform, even though we highlight some of the shortcomings or whatever, as we all should do at times. Not all the time now. Yeah, exactly. At times, because there's more positivities than positives than negatives. But I don't know, look, man. It was blatant hatred. That's all it was towards Google that led people to be on that kind of crazy ass wagon they were on, or that canoe. Because see, the thing about the canoe, folks, is the canoe, you got to understand this, real. Let me break it down real quick. The people in the canoe, aka the naysayers, those that have moved on, aka some of the haters, they're all in the canoe. But see, we're still on the ship. You know what I mean? The USS Stadia, right? Yep. And we're still going to whatever that destination is that they have for us right now. Exactly. That ship is still good. It still has cocktails, it has great food, has swimming pools, has everything, all the amenities and all that stuff, right? And the canoe folks are drifting away from it. But they still got eyes on it, though. They can still see it. Imagine this. They can still see us. The lights are on, the music, they can still hear it. They're trying to row hard as hell to get away from it, boy. I'm rowing. Row. And they can't get away from it, y'all. And they don't want to get away from it. So every now and then, the big waves will come, a storm will come through. They realize they're in the canoe, and they're like, damn, that ship looks good. And so, but why go through all that? Why even look back at the USS Stadia? Why even look back at it, y'all, in the first place? Just go on about your business, go to that island, wherever you're going. But they can't do that because of what Stadia means, what Stadia is, the level of enjoyment that we get. Because some of the canoe folks, I don't see dropping no damn xCloud gameplay, y'all. Now, stop the show for a minute, man. Let's pause. Tell me the last time. And shout out to CGX and everybody that drops these videos on the regular. Definitely not talking about them. Shout out to them. No, everybody that drops these xCloud videos. I'm talking about where the hell is the xCloud gamers at that's putting 6-hour streams? What? Do you know where they are, man?
I think they ain't in the canoe, they in the rowboat.
Oh my gosh, man.
They don't want they don't even want to put They all they do is put stills out there. Who the hell puts stills out there when you talk? I'm having a time of my life. I'm enjoying this gameplay. Oh, this is so beautiful. Then you see a still. Man, get out of here.
Where the hell is the gameplay at? I asked this question before.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's a tweet we can go back and find. I can't find this video, but I know I saw a video with 10 million. I'm gonna drop it on Twitter when I find it, man. There's a lot of videos out there. I'm gonna have to find it, But there's definitely one that I was like, damn, 10 million? I didn't see this. But so I do call out to those who, if you play on xCloud, please give us an hour-long gameplay video. Give us 2-3 hours of nothing but gameplay. Random games, the same game. We just want to see it, man. Because I tell you what I can see, a hell of a lot of thousands of Stadia videos. Thousands of those videos are more than an hour long. That's what I see. So I don't know how to break it down, man.
Yeah, when I look at that stuff, what it reminds me, Storm, of is a young platform with people who normally who are either new to this type of social gathering as it relates to gaming. They're new to this. Like, I've been doing it like this since 2003 on MySpace, creating MySpace websites and stuff like that, and having people sign petitions to have OG Xbox system link on every game and stuff like that, just because. So I've been doing this for a while, so I understand the things that you got to look at, the litmuses that you're supposed to hold. I was around when OG Xbox was going through these pains and these ills to where we're seeing this stuff right now and we're thinking it's doom and gloom for Stadia when we don't realize these are just the growing pains of a new platform, period. You got to go through this, so it's like, and I love your analogy. It's like we're on the USS Stadia. Some people said, we're getting out of here. So we threw them a canoe in the water and said, okay, goodbye. And
instead they lowered it down themselves. We didn't throw them a damn thing. They lowered it down.
No, we said, if you don't want to be here, okay, fine, get your ass out. And we threw the canoe out. No, there goes a canoe. We want y'all to be safe and the best of luck to you. And they went and got in the canoe. Well, no, you're right. And then they helped us throw it out there, as a matter. Well, no. Well, I don't want to mess the analogy up anyway. Anyway, so they get into the canoe, and instead of going their own way, they're still floating right next to us. Oh, Stadia's trash. How do you like those cocktails on that boat? Oh, yeah, USS Stadia is trash. Look, Xbox got its own. It's got its own airplane that's flying by. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Stadia will never compete because they don't have their own airplane. Oh, look, PlayStation, they got another jet going through. Oh, and y'all on this boat. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're floating by because they don't want to see us hit land and maybe get the jet and maybe progress. So they still want to be around, for all that stuff.
Nah, they know it's a cold winter. They know that they don't have no heat. See, they didn't realize that they don't have all the amenities and everything. They don't have all those luxuries and stuff that's on the USS Stadia. So they want to stick around because the winter is coming. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so they're trying to hedge their bets, as many people say. And it's like, I want to be right about something. So we're going to continue to be in this canoe. We're going to continue to talk stuff and make it seem like that Stadia is the worst thing ever, even though we've showed statistics to where they're placing the catalog that they have has a higher placing than any other cloud platform out there next to Shadow. And nothing against Shadow, but Shadow prices itself out of the market for the average cloud gamer. You know what I'm saying? If the average cloud gamer had $30 a month to spend on cloud gaming, they build their own damn PC. You know what I'm saying? They'd save that money up and build a PC. So, with that being said, they got that higher placing. I work with one of the smartest brothers, not just in the community, I feel is on the planet. I'm going to give him his flowers now. Jack Desolate. We got a show tomorrow, as a matter of fact, the number show for Stadia, where we extrapolate data and we show you the growth. We've been telling you this growth about this for a while. We told people that Stadia been crossed 1 million. I done had these conversations in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, and people just want to bring up conjecture and it didn't make any sense. And then when Sensor Tower data came out and said, look, this thing crossed 600,000 people alone, or 500,000 people alone, in December. And we told you that Stadia shot up 17. Well, now I'm finally going to give the official number. They shot up 1,700%. in April when the free tier came out. So you do the math. And then Sister Tower, what was that, in March, said that the engagements passed 3 million. You do the math. They may not have 1 million concurrent. I'm not saying that, but it's been past 1 million hands. We tried to tell you that. So, and then the whole cyberpunk thing, let me show you something. Let me show you this. This right here, my bros, the broadband bullies, you know what I'm saying? When I was doing a article for broadband bullies called the Stadia Corner, I asked the question, is Cyberpunk 2077 coming to Stadia day and date after all? Now, I gotta be honest, it wasn't just that half of us were split on it. Now, I'm gonna give a shout out to people like Stadia Rev, though. Stadia Rev never believed. He never believed that it was etched in stone that Cyberpunk wasn't coming day and date. See, Stadia Rev knows how to read between the fig leaves and wording and stuff like that. He knows how to do that. And I was one that fell into that as well, but then I realized, hold on. I had to put on my thinking cap and my experience and put my emotions to the side. And in this op-ed, I tell you, I say, look, if you break down the wording and if you have business experience, it's not etched in stone that Cyberpunk's not coming. They said the same year, or later in the year, or the way that they said it, I can't remember how they said it, but the way that they said it, it wasn't etched in stone that it was coming after the day and date release elsewhere. Mm-hmm. I right here. First and foremost, I want to point this out. This is not based on any new leaked sources. Instead, it's a more defined review of the information we've had at our disposal, just plausibly viewed incorrectly. It looks we may have negated some important context clues. By doing so, we led ourselves to believe that Cyberpunk 2077 would never be day and date on Stadia. This article came out July 11th. It wasn't announced that Cyberpunk was coming until September. That's when you put things in perspective, people, that you can get ahead of this stuff. And when you don't judge things from emotion. So I had to put my emotions aside, and I had to do it myself. So I've been there. But the biggest canoe talk at the time, not reaching 1 million people. It wasn't coming day and date. And it was a failure, despite all of the facts. This now starts to help crystallize people. Why the canoe people need to be set out to the side and let them be in a canoe. Don't throw them the tails from your shrimp from your cocktail. Don't even do that. They either got to get their ass back on the boat if people will let them, or they got to row your boat to the shores and go somewhere else. Do not give them your energy. This is the type of stuff they were saying last year, and it was all debunked. Come on now, people. That's why I tell y'all, stop retweeting their tweets. Stop spreading their misinformation. All of it is conjecture. Just let them speak amongst themselves. Ignore it. Don't pay attention to the people in the canoe riding along the USS Stadia. Okay? All right. Now, with that said, Storm, let me continue. Man. Let me continue, brother. We had the closure of SG&E. Let's talk about that real quick, because I know we're running short on time. What are your thoughts on the closure of SG&E? What were the pros and the cons about SG&E closing?
Well, somebody will listen to that and say, hey, what kind of pros can you get from that, right? But I have some. I tell you that right now.
Yes, sir.
Well, to me, that meant that, they could focus on the games that millions of people play any damn way, which is those Apexes and those, I had to throw Fortnite in there, even though we know that will probably likely never happen in the near future. But games like that and the Battlefields and the GTAs and stuff like that, right? I think those are the games that I thought that they could really start focusing on more so than they had been already, and bringing them to the platform. Because if you want your platform to grow overnight, you want to wake up one morning and realize, damn, we just got like how many more millions of subscribers or those interested in Stadia? Then you bring those games that people want to play and see on this platform, right? It's that simple formula. Now, you want to take a gamble and throw away billions of dollars? Mm-hmm. Then yeah, you build exclusive games, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you build those games, you take 3, 4 years that you really don't have, in my opinion, if you really want perception to be positive about this platform, right? You don't
Yep.
really have 4 or 5 years, man, because see, there's no guarantee that users are going to come in that amount of time. So I always like the third party move, man, because
Yep.
I know that third party games make up what I believe is over 85% of the gaming industry when it comes to sales and stuff, man. I think those third party games and indie games as well, all of those mobile games, whatever. I think they help move the dial. So focus on those games. The exclusives could drop. You could have had Guilt, for example, phenomenal game. Guilt didn't get the praise it deserved because people was hating on Stadia. So your game could have came out and been the best game ever damn made on this planet. Because it's on your platform, people probably would have said 6.
Yeah. Exactly.
5.5, 4, because it's on Stadia. We want Stadia dead. So you really want to sit there and pour out billions, knowing that these
Facts.
developers work their
Yes.
asses off. You implemented machine learning and other AI and stuff that people don't even have at their disposal, and yet your hard-earned efforts go to Metacritic, and then you see the scores as an average of a 6. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. That's my logic behind this stuff, y'all. I don't know if they really had that time or that luxury to do that. And so I like whoever made that move, like pump them brakes, man. Do we really want to pour millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into a damn game before we could get hundreds of millions of players on this platform, or over 10 million players on this platform? Come on, man. I don't know how it makes sense. So, let me hear your take on it.
My thoughts are this, and I'm gonna put this on the screen. And I love it when that's why if y'all notice when Storm gets into his gospel, I am quiet. I'm like,
Let's
You
try
know
to
what I'm
break it
saying?
down. All I do is just break it down in a way that makes sense, man. I've been gaming for a
Exactly.
long time, but I don't know stuff.
Yes.
I don't know everything.
Yeah, we don't know everything. What we're doing is we're coming up with plausible conclusions of what's likely going to happen because we're following the facts and we're using our lineage. I'm sorry about that. There's a motorcycle. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
Can't even hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a loud engine ride by myself, so.
So because of that, what we do is when we talk about the likelihoods of what's happening, we're not looking at it based off our emotions and saying, ooh, phooey, we don't like this decision. Oh, it's over for Stadia. We're looking and we're saying, look, this is likely why they did that. When we look at precedent, when we look at, likely why the decision was made, the target demo, this is what's likely going to happen. You find out that more often than not, when you follow that path of looking at what Stadia is doing, you come across facts like how I showed you. In July, I was able to say, look, y'all, calm down. This whole Stadia is not coming, or Cyberpunk's not coming day and date thing. It's not etched in stone. I think we're taking things too literal. We're not looking at things from 5,000 feet. I'm telling you, because of my lineage and how corporate speak works, that's not etched in stone. Just stay tuned. And what ended up happening? Stadia told you that Cyberpunk 2077 was coming day and date, despite the fact that people were saying, no, it's not coming. You know what I mean? So, again, you got to learn how to block out that noise and just look and see what's going on the periphery. But Shuhei Yoshida himself said only 4 out of 10 PlayStation games make money, but Sony will always support the talent. When you're trying to sell a box, you're selling that box because you need that box to be in homes in order for you to make your real money. Your real money is not the exclusives. Your real money is the third-party games. Even in years where Sony's did fantastic or Microsoft may have done well, like 2018 was a great year for both Microsoft and Sony. Sony made 16 billion, Microsoft made 10 billion with no hard hitters in its lineup. Microsoft didn't have none. No, Sea of Thieves was doing good, but really not no hard. It really didn't jump off until 2019. Despite all of that, in 2019, they had a worse showing. Why? Well, COVID wasn't out then. What happened? Fortnite wasn't doing well. Fortnite is a third party. So just about one third party not doing well. Globally, platforms went pew. That's the real money, the third parties, because there's so many of them and so many people buy them. You know what I'm saying? That's where the real, and then it's not, there's no development cost for it because you're not making it. Somebody else makes it and people buy it off your platform. You can't beat that with a stick. That's where the real money is made when it comes to a platform. So what Stadia is saying is they're saying, look, we don't need to sell a box. You can play our thing on anything that's available. So that whole development of curating our own games, we don't need to do that now. We just need to find a way to provide the games that people want to play through our fantastic tech and get that to them ASAP. I think that's a winning strategy.
You know what made me want to cry, Moss?
What's that?
When I realized The Last of Us 2 didn't sell 50 million copies, bro. At that time, in like 2 years, in my mind as a gamer back then, no way you could tell me Uncharted never reached 50 million in 2 years. I'm like, this game is so damn great. These games are phenomenal. God of Wars, all of them. No way you could tell me these games didn't reach 25 to 50 million in a 2-year period. No way you could tell me that these exclusives was that fire. Gears of War, all that. You know what I mean? Like, so when I learned that these games are not moving the units that I thought they were moving, I was like, what the hell is the purpose? So could Stadia have done the same thing, MM2K, when they saw Microsoft out here dropping 7.5 bill? Because you got to compete with that. At some degree.
If you're going to get to that game, you got to compete.
If you're going to buy Take-Two, open up the wallet. That's all to it.
Yeah, makes 1,000% sense. If you're gonna get into that game, you gotta go long or don't go at all. You know what I'm saying? And Microsoft showed that, hey, look, you got to shell out some money. And Stadia was like, well, hold on, we probably aren't ready to get into that right now because they got the games established, so they can do that. They've worked several generations beforehand and was able to get the games on the platform. You got to remember when the OG Xbox dropped, they had none of those games. The Grand Theft Autos, the Final Fantasies, none of that stuff was on Xbox. You know what I'm saying? They had to fight over generations to get those. Now they got those relationships established. Now they can sit there and build up their first party like that. So Stadia's like, we can't leapfrog this, not right now. We got to get the games. We got to, guarantee that your Call of Duties and stuff drop here as well. We got to do that before we do anything.
Lord knows we need that. After a 220-something gig install the other night, I'm telling y'all, I'm done with it. But go ahead, man.
We definitely got to make sure that we get those games first. And I think they realized that and they understood that. And that's why they made the move. Because the SG&E move never made sense to me when it was announced. I thought they would have techs working with third-party people like how Xbox did, because that strategy worked for Xbox. Xbox only messed it up that when the Kinect came out, they abandoned those people. As long as Google never abandons those people and keep those relationships strong, they'll be fine. You look at the 360 generation. Mass Effect, BioShock, those were, even though they were timed, those were serious exclusives for the platform that propelled it to new heights that they couldn't even imagine, right? So I think that the pros were focusing where they need to focus at the time. The cons were the rollout of the message. But the naysayer stuff, we're talking about SG&E now, right?
Yeah.
So the naysayer stuff with SG&E was, it's going to shut down in a year. What I want to show y'all, I just put these two tweets up. This is from the Stadia keynote, where you could see here, see if I can make this bigger for the people in the back. They talk about state share. And they talk about incentivizing developers to use state share. So let me ask you this question. And they talk, and in this slide, they say state shares generate 8 times more views than the normal. And they give you this program that they're offering where if you use click to play and you promote state shares, Stadia is going to give you more money, right? Let me ask you this question. This is where we got to let our common sense play out. Storm, I want to ask you this. If Stadia is going full white label, or if they're closing down, or let's just stick with the full white label. If Stadia is going full white label, why the hell would they care about station? Why would they care about any feature that you're using, right? Like, here goes our tech. You do with it what you want. You got to pay us our fee. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can care less what you do with the tech. Why would they incentivize people for specific features if they plan on going white label just a few months from this announcement? Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense.
At all.
They want to promote these features because alongside of allowing people to utilize their business to business version of Stadia, they're going to have a business to consumer version of Stadia, and they want the regardless if you utilize state share in your business to business and their business to consumer, they are going to use state share. And state share is going to be instrumental, they feel, in getting people to their business to consumer version of Stadia. So that's why they want to incentivize developers that contribute towards their B2C version of Stadia, not the white label version, the B2C version of Stadia. They want to incentivize them and saying, hey, put state share in your game. It only makes sense to incentivize it for business to consumer activity. It doesn't make sense for business to business. They don't give a damn what you use as long as you're paying your licensing fees. See, this is where you got to caution yourself and pay close attention to the rhetoric that you take seriously. A lot of this rhetoric is coming from people that don't understand how deals are made. They weren't in a boardroom. They don't understand how the Fortune 500 world works. You don't sit there and put retail-based incentives out there if you're planning to close down next year, even, let alone a few months. It makes no sense. This is not how this works. So that's why you got to let the people be out there in a canoe.
Well, I can't argue with you on that. And Project Kill's in the building, man. Everybody else is
Project
doing
Kill
it
in
late.
the house.
Listen. Here's the thing. I've said it before. I had to say it again after what my bro just said. What if Stadia's focusing on those exclusive features like state share, like crowd play, crowd choice? And we know that, we know that Luna might be having something similar with Twitch and all that stuff. But right now, everybody's talking about state share and Stream Connect and all these other exclusive features, right? That can go alongside, that can be built to go into those third-party games that moves millions of units. Y'all got to stay with me now as I break things down, because sometimes I might lose you. Millions of gamers get exposed to these dope-ass features that's exclusive to our platform. And, by the way, we still can go back and revisit exclusive games down the road if we want to. See, that's what y'all got to understand, too, Canoe people. Like, the hell is going on here, y'all? I mean, think about, this is why I rocks with Google and I rock with Stadia. I can't get away from them if I tried, man. And believe me, there's been times when I thought about it. Boy, 30 FPS games that do that to me sometimes. But then I slap myself with one hand. You know what I mean? Wake your ass up, man. This is the best in the cloud. You're not getting better than this. So think about this for a minute, people, before we wrap up in a minute. Stadia has the dope tech. Hey, yeah, Amazon, y'all got New World, right? Y'all finally got New World that has released on PC, by the way, so that's not really considered an exclusive anymore. But, we're about to roll out 4K 120, or we're going to roll out 8K 120 before you all can, because, this is what we built Stadia to do, to scale up. We keep telling y'all, Project Storm reads this stuff. Nobody else wants to read it. But, MM2K, I see what they're doing here, man. They're building this powerhouse platform, man. Emphasis on the platform. White label. If they decide to white label, let them white label. It just means more people are going to be playing Stadia on Stadia Tech. So that's not a bad thing. I can't see that being a bad thing, especially for those like who don't really care about exclusivity on the platform. We understand the importance of exclusivity in gaming on other platforms, but for Stadia, it's not really necessary, man. You're trying to get 1 billion gamers. Name me an exclusive game that's about to reach 1 billion gamers. Halo Infinite might come out and reach probably millions more than it would have reached by going free to play. But come on, man. I don't know. Hey, MM, that's all I have, man. I can't continue to break this stuff down in a way that makes sense, man. I try, but I can't do it, man. I know it's hard sometimes for you, bro. But damn, think about it. Think about it, y'all.
Yeah, but even if they were pursuing a full white label affair, like I'm not talking about them leasing the technology for other people to use as well. there are people that are saying that they're only going to do white label. That's
I
bullpucky
know.
because they wouldn't be doing, they wouldn't be pushing state share the way that they're pushing to incentivize people, and especially if they're looking to break this down next year. That no, 2023 I think is the closest year will be a determinant on any thoughts of that from any of these platforms. You know what I'm saying? But to say that right then and there, or say that now, is silly talk. So what's your overall rating of? We went through a lot of the major milestones, launch, fourth quarter, SG&E up until now. Storm, what is your overall rating of Stadia?
100 plus. I'm gonna have to give it a couple extra credit points. 105. 105. And I'll tell you why it's simple, man. You call me what you want, but I play wherever I want to play, right? So I'm not a Stadia fanboy per se, but am I? I don't even know. The shit's so good in the cloud. Stadia is doing it the best, better than anybody else. Why the hell wouldn't I give it the highest accolade, man? So if I'm going to give GeForce Now an 8 or 85, and I'm going to give Luna an 8 to an 85, and I'm going to get xCloud 7.5 to 8 overall, then why the hell wouldn't I raise Stadia to those higher standards, man, when that's what it's offering me as a consumer and a gamer? I don't understand. So you got to check out, see Project Storm's people. Hey, shout out to Christopher Torres, who challenged my authority and had the audacity to challenge my KOP status, man. How dare you? That damn Christopher Torres, man. That's why I'm always hard on that brother, man. But shout out to the homie Christopher Torres, man. Always showing support. But look, MM2K, it's that simple, bro. This right here, we've never seen it. On live, paved the way. Yes, it did. But this is not on live. You cannot put on live in this bracket right here with Stadia, nor can you put xCloud in that bracket, nor can you put Luna in there right now, nor can you put Shadow, nor can you put GeForce Now. They have yet to hit 4K. Now, when you hit 4K, when they hit 4K, then I'm going to have to bump them up a little bit, but they can't even get that right now. So I'm worried about them. Stadia, best in class, the GOAT. That's it.
If I'm looking at it from two lenses. Lens number one is if I'm looking at it from their long-term goal, which they ain't got to be there. It's a long-term goal. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 as a long-term goal because, again, the platform has to get the games. We got to see, the more consistent 60 frames per second and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And, the marketing has to increase. But that's still a good score for someone that's for a new platform. 7 point, for their long-term goal towards where they really want to be. We got to see the
You always trying to be realistic, man. You always trying to be realistic about stuff, bro.
You got to put. Well, hold on. Hold on 1 second. You gotta factor in that we ain't even got the YouTube integration yet. So you got to put it out there for the people that to let them know that, again, like we said earlier, there's going to be improvements. We can't give them an A for their long-term goals. Then what are we going to give them when they have when they're really slapping? Then they have the YouTube integration, but the trajectory isn't a good trajectory. It's going up. What were you going to say?
Let me ask you this, man. Can you see yourself life without Stadia?
Well, see, I was just talking about long-term goals. I got a second set of ratings too, brother. You gotta let me finish my bag. I got a second.
All right, man, because I'd be worried, man. I'd be worried.
I got a second. Now that's when you're looking at the long-term goals, I give them the trajectory is up. The numbers tell it, and I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, when it comes to what they're doing in the cloud realm, I give it I'll give it an 88. I don't want to say 9 just yet because, again, I'm a tech buff and they're outperforming the other people in the tech, but I want to see.
That's the thing.
I want to see that 4K 120. I want to see that consistent 4K 60. I want to see Assassin's Creed Black Flag on everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that. But if you ask me what I rate everything else in the cloud, you only want to know those ratings. But I'll give Stadia an 88 out of 100 when it comes to its peers. People may say, well, it don't have the catalog. How can you give it an 88? I don't care about the catalog elsewhere because playing those games on those other platforms are not as satisfying to me. You know what I mean?
And what would you give the peers then? GeForce Now, starting with that real quick. What would you give GeForce Now then?
Oh, I give GeForce Now. I give them a 7.5, maybe.
All right.
Luna, I'd give it I mean, again, and nothing against Luna. I give Luna a 6.5. I just don't have.
Yeah, they don't even have multiplayer yet. That's
Yeah, they
crazy,
don't have
man. Come
multiplayer.
on, man.
Yeah, 6.5. Xbox. Xbox, I give a 6. I give a 6 to them. They're really disappointing with all the talk that they've been doing. They should be further along. But I'll give GeForce Now a 7 or 7, between the 7 and 7.5. I'm just not interested. I mean, the stream quality is just too spotty for me. So I don't care what they have. They could have God of War Ragnarok on there today. I don't care. Because if I play it, it's like, imagine going back, Storm.
You're shorting yourself. You feel like you're shorting yourself, man.
Imagine your favorite game coming out. Y'all know what y'all favorite game is. Imagine your favorite game coming out and someone says you can play it in 4K 60 now. I mean, you can play it in 4K 60 when it launches in a couple of months, or you can play it at 480p 20 frames per second now. You know what I'm saying? On said platform. You'll be like, you know what? I'd rather wait. You know what I mean? Let me just wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so overall, I give Stadia 88 out of 100 when it comes to what it's doing against its peers. But you know, when it comes to its long term, 7.5. I think those are great numbers. All right, y'all. Before we go, we got this final raffle that we're going to do. This raffle for this code. So here's what you're going to want to do. I'm starting the giveaway right now. Y'all should see it. And as y'all see it come up on the screen, it should be popping up soon. Please tell me it's popping up. Please. As y'all see it here, let me switch this over to. Okay, yep, it's there. What you're going to want to do is hit exclamation point and the word raffle. Okay, hit exclamation point and the word raffle. There you go. Geek the Sneak got it. Hit that and you'll be eligible for the gift card. We're just going to talk a little bit about StadiaDosage news hitting 2,000 subs. Storm, did you ever think that this day was coming, man?
Not this soon. I'm not even gonna lie to you because listen, yes, you started putting the work in first. Let me just let people know this, you know, but because you built the foundation of the platform, man, and made it like a family affair and all that stuff where, you know, those who are affiliated can, you know, benefit from the whole thing, which is a stand-up move, in my opinion, after you put that how many hours in, thousands of hours into this damn thing. So, yeah. I mean, MM2K, but again, that's why I rock with you, man. That's why I rock with you. So I think the platform deserves it. You know, I think that, you know, we put in a lot of work. Some of it is hopefully entertaining. Some of it hopefully can make people laugh and, you know, all the good things that feel good. But man, I didn't think the platform was going to get here. I mean, that though we would hit 2K that fast, because at one point, all we were worried about is just making sure that the consumers, the people, we were here for the people. We weren't really numbers watching and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
You know, so that's what I'm thinking about right now. I still can't even believe it, man. I can't even believe it. 2K, can't even believe it.
Now I'm gonna say
I
this.
don't even know what to say.
I'm gonna say this now, as my good brother is speaking. Remember, you got to be subbed to this channel, and you got to be subbed to Storm's channel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick multiple winners. So in case the first person that we pick, if I discover that you're not subbed to Storm's channel, it goes to the next person. If they're not subbed to Storm's channel, goes to the next. You feel what I'm saying? So you're going to see several names picked as the winner, but there's only going to be one winner. The first person that is picked, that is subbed to Storm's channel and this channel, will be able to win. And again, in order for you to participate, you got to hit exclamation point raffle. So don't miss out on your chance to win $25 gift card to Google for Google Play credit. I want to say this in regards to what's going on with the channel. The roots of it. Shout out to the homegirl Snow Bunny Gaming. If it wasn't for her, you know, there wouldn't be a StadiaDosage channel. I mean, I would have been happy to talk about Stadia on the MM2K videos channel, but then y'all would have had to deal with all the trolling. You know what I'm saying? That from the console people, like, because they weren't digging it. They were not digging the Stadia content. I was like, Bunny, I really like You know what I'm saying? I really like I really like doing this. You know what I'm saying? And she said, well, you have to make a new channel. And I think that's the biggest takeaway here is I've experienced it in reverse, because a lot of people get concerned. They're like, hold on, the Stadia community, they don't really want to hear anything else about but Stadia. That's not necessarily true, but if they originally came to your venue for Stadia stuff, that's people catalog what they go to and what they go to for. Like, if I go to Red Lobster for seafood and all of a sudden Red Lobster just started throwing hamburgers in the mix, people might get turned off from that. You know what I'm saying? So, and the same thing happened to me on my MM2K videos channel. So because I was doing a lot of console talk, people didn't want to hear about Stadia, so I had to make a separate channel. So just some words to the wise that, you know, sometimes you might have to make different channels to cater to specific audiences, and it's okay. With that said, though, we made the channel. We always wanted to open it up to the community. It took us a while to do so, but we're doing that. We got a lot of contributors coming, a lot of people looking to do some things. So this channel is going to transform in some major ways. We got some giveaways coming and stuff like that, and we're going to structure the giveaway process. Like, shout out to the homie Bud. The homie Bud just dropped something, a $5 super chat. Bud, here's what's happening. Because you dropped that $5 super chat, you are now going to be eligible for a monthly giveaway. We're going to start doing monthly giveaways, right? And when we do these monthly giveaways, here's what's going to happen. We're going to look at and see if you're subscribed to Stadia Dosage News. Because if you're not subscribed to Stadia Dosage News, you can't even be eligible. Then we're going to count up your tickets for each giveaway. How do you earn a ticket? You earn a ticket by being subbed to Stadia Dosage streams on YouTube, being signed up to Stadia Dosage Plus on Twitch will get you a ticket for that month. And if you super chat, that'll give you several tickets depending upon the denomination. You'll get several tickets if you super chat or do a super sticker. That'll give you tickets as well. If you're a member of the channel, that'll give you even more tickets. So our members, you done got several tickets because of that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take all those efforts. We're going to randomly, add your tickets to a raffle wheel, and we're going to select a winner. And of course, your chances increase the more super chats if you're a member or if you're subscribed to Stadia Dosage News and Stadia Dosage Plus. This is our way to give back to our community members, and we want to say thank you so much, because we couldn't have done this without you. It's been a crazy ride, one that's been positive, and we love this community because the way the community coalesced around our efforts here has been bar none. So with that said, we want to say thank you. Okay, Storm. So we are going to, I think we're going to close the raffle right now, and we're going to select a winner. Let me just pull it up. All right, so we're going to close the entries. The entries are closed, and let's start picking our winners. All right. And the first winner, the first person that we selected is Geek the Sneak.
Geek the Sneak.
Well, I think Geek the Sneak done won, man. I think because I know Geek he's subscribed to both of our platforms. We're gonna pick some more though. We're gonna pick some more just in case. Well, no, Geek. I know you're Geek. You're subscribed to Storm, right? I know you are.
Yeah. Geek is.
Geek is subscribed, so Geek won. So we're gonna complete it, and there we go, so the people can see that Geek the Sneak has won the $25 gift card.
That's why they call him the Sneak, man.
Yeah, he's a sneaky. He's a sneaky son of a gun. Shout out to Geek the Sneak. Brother, thank you so much for your support. Bro, I'm going to hit you up with the code. You know what I'm saying? Good to go. We got a lot more giveaways to do. You know what I'm saying? We got the Old Dirty Blaster show that we do every week. I do it from Stadia Dosage Streams and Stadia Dosage Plus as simulcast. So join us there. We give these cards out away there too. Again, we're doing monthly giveaways. And don't forget tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on this channel. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 8 p.m. BST, 1 p.m. Pacific. The number show for Stadia. We're going to have 10 people, not one, not two, not three, 10 people win $30 gift certificates on the show. You can't beat that with a stick. All right. So with that said, we want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank y'all so much for the support. We love each and every one of y'all. Storm, you have any closing words before we get out of here?
That's it, man. Just make sure y'all get some gaming in because that's what I'm about to do. You heard?
Peace. Yeah, and I got to go cut the grass. So until next time, have a wonderful gaming day, y'all. And congratulations. And remember, super chat, like when we do the SDO dailies, when y'all can super chat during the premieres, that'll get you additional tickets. We got a video coming out that'll explain everything. But until next time, have a wonderful. He said that raffle was fixed. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.
And spread your wings.
Fly away.